little bit. We'll get to that. And the Mag 7 save and accept for Amazon and NVIDIA are all green on the day. And let me submit to you that Amazon and NVIDIA are barely red. So it's been a good look. We'll keep an eye out for these small cap gappers. It really is, though, the SMX show assassino, as this one continues to make higher highs and higher lows into that 242 area. Send it to you, Katina Man. Good to go? Okay. So it is, without further ado, the Katina Man locked and loaded and ready to look at these tickers. Send it over. Get it?
What's up, everybody? Yeah, no, I was looking over at Neil. He switched over his plate and his fork.
I'm not even making it.
His fork fell. Yeah, better go get a new fork there, my guy. Welcome, everybody. Got some black action behind us right now as we paint up our Studio 8 renovation ready to go. We actually got and I just sent out a tweet right now. I don't know, I don't want to say the individual's name, but we have a gift right here for Neil and myself. And it just says, if you sent Neil and I something in the mail, we're opening it during today's afternoon show. I'll give you a tip. Your name is David. So shout out to David there. And he just said, Edimus wants me to make sure it's not ticking.
Ticking?
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, what are we
I feel like it's I feel like it's some sort of merch. So we'll look at that. But thank you.
You know what I was hoping?
Thank you for sending.
Someone in the chat.
You don't have your mic on, yeah. Neil, get your mic on. So yeah, no. Right now we're excited for this closing show. Andre, come on, man. You can show Neil. It's fine. I want to trying to show this package over here. There it is, right here. As Neil getting ready. What are you looking for? One of these things?
Where's my magnet?
Where's your magnet? Oh, right there. There's a bunch over there. Joe always stealing stuff, man. COD, cash on delivery. We had to pay for this? No. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, but we'll open this very, very shortly. Right there. Thank you to David. I do hope that you are watching right now. It's a Detroit Lions jersey. Oh no, better not be. Detroit Lions jersey for. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It could be anybody. I mean, as a Packer fan, yeah, he should be able to do well. Amon-Ra there this year as well. I mean, all those guys. The Lions will be fine, but they will disappoint everybody. So, no, they might not even make the playoffs. I think the Bears are a good team. Obviously, the Packers are better than the Lions. So,
no, you don't think the Vikings will do it?
Vikings? I mean, about their quarterback. I mean, it's just, aren't they going with McCarthy?
I think you guys win the division.
Yeah.
I still think Detroit's going to get second. You don't think Detroit?
Maybe. I mean, they're off of 15 wins or whatever they had last year.
Yeah, I think they'll come back.
I'm just saying, like, lower than last year.
It's
I'm not
good
trying
division, man.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, it was the best division in football last year. I think with Washington, not to say, the problem is Philly is still the cream of the crop. And then you have then Dallas in that same division, which, Giants, and then Washington much improved, right? Washington's got to get McLaurin signed, and when they do that, then they'll be fine over there. I don't know who's running the ball for them this year, but probably somebody good. They probably got somebody. Okay, so just real quick, man. Tesla went up, and we still have a very, very small piece. We were supposed to get out if it did cross a view up, but 322. Wow, I don't think any of us expected that kind of a day there for Tesla today. Palantir, I heard Neil talking about that as well. What a good trade that was, up near that 160 marker again right now. So some of these stocks starting to fall back in just a little bit here as we get ready for the closing trade. And we also had written down on our sticky note that we like this TQQ break. So that was just another one of the trades. And, I've only traded 1, 2, 3, 4, Google, Palantir, TQs, and Tesla. So as we look about what we've been trading today, I said we've been trading Google, right, Palantir, Tesla, and the TQQs. So everything that we're in today is as it was written right here on the board, including the Palantir 156 long, the Tesla 308 long, we have that. The Google long as well, we're in that right now. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the TQQ, there's the 89 long break for the Nasdaq, worthy on a weekly break. So, I mean, right into there, most of the trades today, we're just getting excited and, looking for a nice positive day. There's the 89 break right there, about as smooth as possible. And it fades back in, then does this move. So, yeah, the TQ's working out so far so good here. 20 cents in the money over there. Palantir doing its own thing. But, yeah, it's going to be a good one. We'll talk many different names other than these ones, of course, as we continue to go. It's Friday. We should be having a lot of fun. We'll open up this
And you
gift
go.
there today. Sharif running around, which is always good to see as he gets the board ready to go for everybody.
Who takes number lock off? That's weird.
Joe took number lock off?
Yeah. I'm like trying to type in my password to log in. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and up there, caps lock is always on the after hours shows.
Right?
So that's, yeah, people are always putting on, I think that's Sharif putting on the caps lock. That's the desk he's.
But who leaves caps lock on?
Joe does.
No, he took off the number lock, which.
Oh, number lock.
Number lock, but like you put
I'm
orders, I'm typing orders in there.
I sometimes hit it by accident, and
okay.
it is what it is.
I'm just trying to get all logged in here.
Joe.
I gotta get in the chat.
Yeah, Joe, what a guy that Joe. Sharif just said he was done on purpose, so there you go. There you go, Neil. I mean, Joe wasn't actively trading too much.
Do you do that? Do you leave caps lock on purpose up there, Sharif?
No.
Oh, no, okay.
No one would.
No, because it is always on. I know you notice the same thing too. And then I'll sit there and I'll try to log in to YouTube so I can get in the chat for the aftermarket show. And I'm like, why can't I log in? Why can't I log in?
Like wondering what's going on.
Oh, there it goes. We can get to the rundown.
Damn you, Joe. All right, we're going to get to the rundown very, very soon. Sharif is ready to rock and roll. Interested to see what some of these names are going to be. Bitcoin hovering around 116. We'll see if Ethereum's on there. We'll see if Bitcoin's on there. Let's go to the number one requested stock. It's the rundown. It's Sharif.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are back, they're locked, and they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there is to get into that chat and vote for them. Super simple. Throw in that $ followed by a 3, 4, or 5-letter ticker. Automatically registers as of I think last week. Here's a look at all 4 major averages, and all 4 major averages are in positive territory. Let's start off with the NQ up 1/3%, with the Russell 2000, the IWM up 1/4%. The ES and the Dow leading the way. They're both tied right now for first place, up 0.43 each respectively. Good luck for all 4 major averages. Here's the first ticker, as decided by you guys, TSLA. Couple of headlines. Let's start with the bad one. China Renaissance downgrading Tesla to hold and announcing a 349 price target. The good news is we're trading higher, at least for the moment, on Tesla after Business Insider reported that the company plans to roll out their RoboTaxi in San Francisco this weekend, boys.
Apparently here, David was in the chat earlier and wanted us to open this up on Monday.
Because he couldn't watch it.
Because he's not here.
He can't watch.
So we'll wait for Monday, of course. And thank you, Neil, confirm that. Not that it needs to be confirmed, but I saw Lena in the chat as well had mentioned that. So no, he's likely, there it is right here. So shout out right here. Thank you, Liana there. Left a message this morning in chat for you to wait till Monday. Okay, so we'll do that. No, we'll wait. I'm not super. I mean, look, I'd love to open it up. I am kind of excited to see what
now
it
it's
is.
just anticipation.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody and David for sending that
thanks,
through.
David.
But
whatever it is,
someone sends us something. I mean, I think it's just more appropriate to look at it as we go. But right here, there goes. Oh, we're doing this. Right there goes Google right now breaking higher. We just put Google on right here at 192.80, trying to get up now. Now 30 cents in the money right there. Look, we're running a perfect day today. Tesla was absolutely a rocket, right? Yeah, this morning it was on here as one of the #1 trade ideas for myself here with Tesla. All we did was follow our rules today. Pretty simple stuff. And it was just bang right there to the upside for Tesla. Could never have expected this to get up to 324, right? I mean, our long is 308.50. What we wound up doing was just a day 2 play. We saw yesterday relative strength into the afternoon as it just kept on bumping up higher and higher and higher before eventually fell down into the close, but that's okay. I was more interested in the fact that we were well off the bottom. So then today, when we didn't get any negative notes, we didn't get any downgrades extended through into today. Maybe we did, but nothing of significance that we even talked about. So I was like, let's just take the pre-market high. That pre-market high at that time was 308. It turned out to be 309. We took that break. It also came back in and gave us 308, giving us our 308.50, which is what we wanted. And then, as they always say, the rest is history. Most of them out for $4 or $5. Then this one, we actually had a keystroke error back down here at the 50-period moving average, where we went long again. And then it just kept on blowing up. And then I was like, I'm not going to get out. We held it all the way to the upside right there with a nice out on Tesla, but up 4%, almost giving it all back as if they didn't even report. When they they did report, though, they were at 330. That move goes up to 322. So you're still going to be down a little bit there. We'll see where we wind up closing. Would be nice to get over that 320 marker again. I think Tesla's here for a while now. We've already got their bad numbers on their cars, on the car business. We know that's a fledgling business, not one that we all want to be invested in. So what we're invested in is the future, and the future for Tesla apparently is pretty bright. The streets, there's calls on this. We saw Kathy Wood's $5 trillion market valuation on Tesla. That's like pretty much 8x from here or so. I don't think that we have to worry about this getting to 2,400 anytime soon, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of positivities for Tesla. I like the stock. It's an absolute banger, but not my best one today. That's Palantir, which did not make the list.
Dan Ives 500. We know he's a raging Tesla bull, but he says 5.
It's been there before.
It's been there before. I want to shout out to Trade the Pool, allowing you to swing trade with their new swing trading programs. You can get access to up to $40,000 in buying power to trade real shares and not CFDs. You can hold positions overnight over the weekend and enjoy limited risk thanks to a one-time evaluation fee with no monthly payments and no hidden costs. Take Vicente J, for example. One of Trade the Pool's swing traders. He's already locked in 23,000 plus in profits, and his top performer was NMAX. He shorted it from April 20th to May 30th and pulled in a $6,774 gain. Trade the Pool is giving swing traders the tools, the time, and the capital to thrive. Scan the QR code and enjoy 10% off. Link in the description as well. Yeah, if you're looking for a swing, you could do worse than an out in front of 300 in a swing on Tesla. Now that it's had its little sell-off, you're going into the, after the earnings. And that's what it feels like. It bounced. This is now a second time off the $300 level. And, well, I mean, it did it in the pre-market, but it's the second time off a $300 level. So you have a double bottom after earnings, which is usually a pretty good setup. And we have lots of room till the resistance at 360. You're sitting in 5% worth of risk here in Tesla. So anybody a lot of people put bets on before earnings, they're not really that bad if you were putting it on, but you're slightly out of the money. Now you can have it off a 300 level for a little bit of action as well. So, I kind of like that look myself. This afternoon, I thought we'd bounce off VWAP, but we're bouncing off 315 exactly, which is weird, because I would swear when I was doing the afternoon show, I told you guys 315 in VWAP, but I log in over here, my VWAP's in a different spot. So the 315 is the key level. The volume weighted average price is a line in the chart. The bounce right now is off 315, and it's finally breaking the trend. I tried it the first time it broke trend. It's breaking the trend a second time. 4 longs and 1 short, and the short is the one that stunk, I think. Because really, that's one of those flips that you shouldn't flip. That's the worst time to do it, but at the same time, it's broken the trend line, and if it can pull back into VWAP, that is the break of the trend on Tesla. Let's go talk about something that Tesla does not use, LIDR.
No, and they will insist on doing that. Good point, Neil. So LIDR, the name of the company is AI. Their shares are trading higher. It was moving yesterday as well. Trading higher after the company announced they filed an amendment to update its maximum number of company common shares to an aggregate of about $23.25 million, guys, in a placement share. The market liked that, and it's up again.
Just making sure that everybody, if you're on Google with me right here, we did get out some at VWAP, and we just touched the 200 period moving average again. So we're just getting this out here as we put it in the chat. 4 for 4 today with these ideas. We did not trade LIDR. We had LIDR yesterday on our note, and it wasn't doing much, but today is the day that it wants to do something. I mean, yesterday was a huge move up, but today really off the close there. That's 8:15 this morning, 8 o'clock. Yesterday, we really jumped off of that $1.40 area. And then just yesterday's trade alone, this is what I was talking about, where it wasn't doing a whole heck of a lot, and then the bump up happened. And now you're just sort of consolidating, looking at that past top of 480. So trying to get through there makes some sense. Time is at 2:17. Okay, lots of time left today to break higher here on LIDR. So I would say that you want to get involved with this. How many hundreds of millions of shares today? 280 million shares. We're at 2.8. Sorry, as I look at this now as a 1 minute chart, we're at 480 right now. So it's kind of already been at this spot. I'd say we need a clean 5 break. So I'm going to wait actually for $5 to break. When and if that does happen, then I do like the LIDR break long on there. So we'll wait for $5, a pretty key level. And you know, if you zoom out, you're not going to see too much here. I thought maybe there might have, yeah, okay, there was, I was going to say, and there might have been a past level there, but that's where we took that out right there at $3. So looks like if you're going to dip by something, maybe $3 might be the play. But for me, $5 today on the breakout. I'm just slowly getting out of everything here. TQ's just made another bump up. We got out of that. We got out of some more Palantir right now as well. We're still holding on to that Tesla, but it's really Google right here that I think has a good chance to get back over up into this 193.50. But yeah, that's it. LIDR, Hood, AMD, and Open. I know you traded a lot of names today. I don't know if LIDR was one.
No, LIDR was not one of them. Sharif was all over LIDR, and I think it was great off VWAP. But when I was looking at first off, have a look at the weekly chart on LIDR, which is tells you a little something about the history. Like it looks, I mean, obviously that's this is what it looks like when you have delusion and when you have failure and all that kind of good stuff. But it does give it a lot of room to squeeze, which is, I think, what you're seeing here. So you got to break resistance if you're going to squeeze. It's got this algo look going to it here, which we've said a couple of times, where you know, every single dip is sort of structurally bought up. The second it starts, it just goes trending, and then once you've found support, it's putting in these nice higher lows, but holding a channel. Usually what you want to see is it break away from some kind of a channel. So, you know, you're looking for these tops to break out, which does mean a $5 break. So if it gets to the bottom of the channel, that's 460, maybe look for a bounce in and around there. And if it breaks $5, then you can have a test of the high. Great volume on this stock. Just absolutely great volume. Robinhood is up next. We got a lot of questions about Robinhood, one of the frothiest stocks out there.
Ooh.
Good day today for Robinhood, though, Neil, breaking out, but a little bit off the highs. No major catalyst for today, but I want to let you know that Robinhood's acquisition of that former WonderFi that Kevin O'Leary was involved in, which is a DeFi company in Canada, has been approved by a BC court. So WonderFi will go ahead and be acquired by Robinhood if all goes well. But Robinhood having a nice day after multiple lower days, guys.
Yeah, I think you want to just respect Robinhood. It's up over 200% from those lows. I mean, this was $30. Forget about the $30 mark, but that's 30 up to 105. You're talking about a 3 times trade right there if you have the bottom. I mean, more likely to take a breakout in and around here, $60 still gets you a pretty sweet move right there back up into the high side. Look, I mean, more accounts, more assets under management. I think Robinhood continues to be a winner here. I really like that gold card idea. Obviously, as crypto is going to be a thing, we've already talked, I mean, crypto's been a thing now for 7-8 years, right? And so it's like finally some of these names like a Robinhood, like a SoFi, Sharif mentioned WonderFi there. That story's already baked in now. So, you know, there's going to be some more love for Robinhood. You have cheaper plays in the option spots, you know, with day trading getting even more and more popular. I mean, honestly, this show is about to go 24/7, so get ready for that announcement. Oops. But we're going to be trading now more and more and more as we wait for, you know, these exchanges to be almost 24 hours a day. So what do you think that means for Robinhood? Instead of me sitting at home doing nothing, you know, probably be sitting at home watching stock, and you're going to be looking at the account that you're trading through. And right now, Robinhood gaining more and more momentum as we move forward. It's gaining momentum like VinFast. If you do scan that QR, you'll find out that there's big news for Vietnam's green mobility shift and a major win for VinFast. They're under the Nasdaq ticker VFS. Starting July 1st, of 2026, Hanoi will ban gas-powered motorcycles in its city center, kicking off a nationwide move toward electric transport. VinFast is in prime position to benefit with major investments in EV tech, battery production, and charging networks. It has a strong head start in the game. While others scramble, VinFast is ready, and this policy only sharpens its edge. So get your VinFast today before it gets too, we're giving you this before everything happens. That news is happening in July of 2026. Do you know that those electric scooters are actually banned in Toronto? Does it mean that people aren't running them around like
they're
crazy?
everywhere.
No. So yeah, those electric scooters, even I think electric bikes, it's those scooters, because my daughter wanted one. My wife looked it up. They're actually banned. So she doesn't get one of those. But all right, so that was it.
My daughter never rides the one we have.
That was it for Robinhood. Yeah, my daughter does.
She got one, and it's like she rode it for, I don't know, like a couple of weekends, and
Which, an electric one, or?
yeah, and
okay.
yeah, and then after that, like,
They don't have one.
and then she just didn't care for it anymore. Anyways, which is fine. The other thing that's happening is, remember, and probably has a lot to do with the 24-hour market, is, I didn't even put my makeup on, so I'm all shiny.
Same.
No, is the fact that the PDT rule is going to be loosened. The minimum's going to go, well, this is a talk. The minimum's going to go from 25,000 to 2,000, so that you're able to not be pattern day trading if you have more than 3 trades in a single week using margin. Which I think for a lot of traders, let's be real, if you're going to do a push of 24-hour markets, you can't have an archaic rule like that in place. And this is another reason that's going to be great. Well, I don't know. Sometimes the regulators are slow.
Not to have it here.
We're very lucky. We're very lucky not to have it in Canada.
Sometimes the regulators are slow? That's a good one.
I'm trying to be nice about it. Sometimes the regulators are a little bit slow to adapt to what seems like obvious for us. And I think that's another good thing for Robinhood. I think it's good for Webull. But what is weird about Robinhood is what is happening at the 105 level or just above it. Just complete sideways action. If it starts to accelerate in one direction or the other, probably worth a look, just breaking away from this afternoon consolidation on Hood. Let's go talk about the advanced money doubler. Came in this morning, and it was the chip name that was up. Sometimes it's like, just, if you're not having bad news, then you get a bounce. And Intel was down, so the company they got compared to just had to be up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AMD is almost at the high of the days, guys. Those implied balance highs are coming in with those lower highs. No specific catalyst today for AMD on its own, but likely another running in counter sympathy. Is that a thing with Intel posting earnings yesterday? Intel down substantially today. The other look for AMD.
Look, I saw someone during the midday show say something about how we hadn't talked about NVIDIA or AMD or anything like that. And it is probably one of the very first times that this has not been on my board at all. I don't have an AMD trade. I don't have an NVIDIA trade. And I'm having my best day of the last couple months today, going 4 for 4 on other names. That doesn't mean you should have ignored AMD. Look at that move right off the jump there today. There wasn't much news as far as I was concerned. Neil just sort of nailed it maybe with the Intel fact that they're so bad. Maybe everybody else is so good. But, we wait for next week. Wow, this might break out right now again of 167. This could be a great trade here.
Are you still on
into the end of the day? Fabian is not still on WallStreetBets, no, Sharif. But there it goes upside there through 167. Again, great move right back into VWAP. We really, really love that spot. Anytime you get a dip buy into the 200 period or into VWAP off of a strong stock, those are buying situations. So again, I've just been sort of chilled out right now. We're on quite the heater, and we should have probably looked at AMD, but the focus was where it was today. I really like the stock moving forward now. It broke above that 150. We weren't here when that had happened, but that was the key thing right there. You sort of filled that gap up. You gapped up through it. You didn't break back down below. I think that right now, if you're long AMD, you're long at least until it breaks back down below 150 right now. And yeah, that's advanced micro devices. I always pick NVIDIA. My largest holding in my personal account now, although it's probably a stock, something starts with a P, ends in an Palantir. But NVIDIA definitely number 2, followed by, I think, Google. AMD doesn't really hold its part in my portfolio, but I don't blame anybody that picks this. I think they're all going to win. I really love the space. I like AMD. It's holding that 150. Giddy up, man. This may go back to that 220 level.
Someone's got to be number 2.
Yeah.
You know, and someone's got to be number 2 in a big market, right? Well, yeah, Broadcom's obviously better than AMD. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say obviously. That's opinions are opinions, right? So people are entitled to it. What AMD is right now is a really good momentum vehicle to the upside. We have to wait a week and a half until they report. They're on the 5th. So that's when we'll actually get some real data to come behind it. It looks as if there's every good reason to think that it's going all the way back to the October highs, which is just 174 before earnings. Maybe it could even get to, like, it's entirely possible. I mean, it's not going to, look, it's not getting back to I don't think it gets back to above $200 at that 213, but you could easily get back to the July top, potentially before earnings. Those are levels on this trend that it can do, especially with what we're seeing here. Like when NVIDIA dropped under VWAP, there wasn't even a candle on AMD you couldn't even tell. Like here's NVIDIA at about 151, sorry. And at 151, AMD did absolutely nothing. There's this little tiny candle in here. So a lot of strength happening here in AMD. I'd like to see NVIDIA participating and being green before you start thinking breakout through the highs. Seems a little daunting to take a breakout trade in the afternoon on AMD when NVIDIA just lost VWAP for a second time. But if NVIDIA can continue to show strength, then that'll make me like it a little bit more. I think you want this one in front of the volume weighted average price for sure. Open is open for business.
Yeah, it keeps going down though, Neil. I mean, it hasn't really had an outsized day for a little bit now. So Opendoor is one of those ones that was mentioned on the WallStreetBets subreddit and was really going last week. Today, a little bit more dormant, guys. So Open off the lows, but not exactly moving like it was.
Getting at some more Google. Yeah, no, I mean, what's the same guy? What's his? No, it's not Nick Jackson. It's somebody there that made the same kind of a call. He made the same post on Opendoor that he was well known for his Carvana call, and apparently CVNA. Yeah. I know it's the same guy. Just the name has left me. But anyways, he made this call when it was about $1, and Carvana made its way to $330. So that was quite the call. So getting some credibility back in on that with Opendoor. And we talked about this with Trump last week and some of the talks of the capital gains and whatnot hitting, and Opendoor then kind of opens its door and rips to the high side. The thing about this is not going to last. All these sort of things do have eventual end games, unless you're, of course, you're Carvana. And maybe this guy's right. Here's Opendoor Technologies right here. The short flow right now, 22%. You should never short a decent company if it's near that dollar mark, and that's sort of what Opendoor was at here. Maybe I can find it. Yeah, sense of FOMO. Rally. So this is what. I was trying to find the guy's name.
It's Eric Jackson.
Eric Jackson. Okay, I was saying.
Or is it Johnson? Jackson.
It's one of those. Yeah. Anyways, so there it goes, man. I mean, you see a PE here, you don't, because they're not making any money. So this is a negative. The revenue growth minus 26%. But this gives them an opportunity to make something work out. They do report in 11 days. I mean, maybe this individual knows something. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But, we're going to have to watch out for Opendoor, up 2.5% today. Again, this is one of those names where you just sort of go in for it and you try to see if you can make something of the stock, right? And I mean, right now, there it goes, man, 230, nice little bottom there for Open. Let's just figure out if it holds it or not. Today, not too much in there for me. 200 million shares. Like I said, we're doing it out other places, but Opendoor, congratulations if you got to short off the open. But other than that, there hasn't been much unless you somehow played off that 225.
Yeah, agreed. This is the only day that I didn't even really look it up. And the volume's still fantastic, but it's just, remember yesterday? It just wasn't really moving. Mm-hmm. Outside of, there was one push at the open, but there was no continuation. Whereas most days, once it started trending, especially break whatever direction it broke at the open, it continued the rest of the day is the best way to think about it. And yesterday it didn't do that, so I wasn't looking for it to do that today. But maybe you just go right back into it. I do eventually think it's going to catch another bounce, because there's one point, I think that hedge, if anybody shorted this thing at $1, doesn't it seem idiotic? I don't know, maybe he was just saying that to be I don't know, he was just making some kind of a weird point, but I can't imagine anyone was reshorting this at $1. That just seems psychotic to me. Like, you've already won so much if you've leaned on a stock like this short, then you let it bounce from 50 cents to $1 instead of waiting for it to get higher. So but the accumulation, you could see it on the way up, and then it finally exploded. The fact that it cannot get back to where, like, volume exploded on this day, and your high is 150. So the fact this has gone nowhere near that price level, yikes. That retracement, so they have to load back in and be short the you-know-what out of this on that flush. It started at about 450 to 350, so call that like $4. So if you were shorted on this day, that's like 130. And then if you just tripled up or something at $4, like maybe you worked yourself a price close to 3, I would suppose. Like you start making these guesses as to where they might be at. Well, that $3, that looks like a pivot spot to me. This takes out 3 next week. Maybe it goes a little mini squeezing again. Yeah, it's not the automatic short every morning that I thought it was 2 days ago. And I think next week we're taking a 3 break. The only, by the way,
it's not hard to borrow. It's someone put in the chat. I think that's
it's free for us.
I think that's and free for most. I think that's the problem. Yeah. If it was harder to borrow, the shorts would be in much more trouble. Potentially, because people would not be able to, they'd have to pay for the shorts. There's not as many shares out there. There is a decent float on Opendoor. So that would be the only thing that I would sort of cautious there. It may not be one of those ones that exactly goes parabolic. I mean, it's already sort of done that. So we'll wait to see it. Good luck to everybody, man. I hope everybody that's long that name has that lottery ticket and is ready to scratch it. So yeah, good trade so far. Someone in the chat, congratulations to you. Said you made $28,000 trading that stock last week. That's perfect. Great number there. 2,800 is a great week, of course. All right, so just looking at Google, man, I mean, we bought this just as we went live on the show back at 2 o'clock off some of these bottoms. And again, like I said, man, simple man I am right here. And the simple trades have really worked today. That's I hope that you guys are sort of following some of the trends that we're talking about here. And, you know, yesterday Google was hot, so today it is as well. And that's kind of just how it works. There was the move there, upside. We waited for 194 to break, and that's where we got involved. That was a mistake for sure. Falls back in, we're able to take some profits. And since then, it's really just been upside. We did bounce off the 200 period moving average. But once we failed out right there, we kind of waited for, again, another level, 193 to come into play. I mean, that was right into there. Day 2 off of earnings. Again, I really like this stock. It held the support. We went long again, and the rest is history, man. Nice upside play. So, like I said, simple trades for a simple guy. There it is right there, 193. Well, we're in a little bit lower than that, 192.84. Out right now, 40s and 50s as we run right back into a very, very easy to spot resistance level one more time. So that one is a winner right there, a chicken dinner winner, which I saw Neil talk about on the midday show. Chicken was a little bit dry, that is for sure.
I'm still trying.
Today I am, I've already made the request for the tuna salad, so that'll be happening next week, so you'll be able to see some of that. How's it going, Russell? Please be careful of Sharif's chair there, as he has the obus form there. He's very, very specific to people and the obus form, which I might just go get and use, actually.
We got to get Joe a new chair.
Not to get Joe anything. Joe can get himself a new chair.
Joe's chair is terrible.
Same chair as Sharif.
No, but like there's something, the wheels are constantly stuck.
Well, if he wants. Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, it's not that we're not going to get Joe anything.
No, there's like a million other chairs too.
I mean.
Like I was sitting in it, I'm like, what is, I'm like, really? You sitting in this every single day?
Well, I mean, I have this gangster chair. You have a different chair. You got the obus form.
Whatever's in comfortable.
Oh, no, not the obus form. The Herman Miller right there. Neil's kind of frou-frou like that. We also have those, I'm just joking. We have those leather chairs as well.
No, those are our old chairs.
Yeah, and then
used to have
this one's not bad. This is just a little gangster gray chair over there. So, yeah, okay. It looks like this is still going higher here. You know, the Palantir trade's original. The Google trade's brand new. We'll have to watch out for, I was about to say Cisco. Tesla right here, 318. That looks like a good little spot. We probably should have got something out right there. I think we'll maybe exit our trade if we can get back up into this level right here, 318.50. We'll exit out of this Tesla trade. We'll take $5, and then we'll work on that. But it's basically 10 to 1 is my net on Palantir compared to everything else. So this was an absolute rocket ship of a trade. We took it with I mean, my max default is way higher than anything I would have traded here. I don't use all of the buying power, obviously, that I have, but we put on, a really good position on Palantir, breaking the 52-week high. I let it break the high first and then take 156. So the past high was 155.70. It takes that. We wait for 156. We were watching it as the market opened up. I was pounding the table. It's on the sticky note. We were telling everybody that this was the trade that we are taking. We took it, and boom goes the dynamite. Huge trade to the upside on Palantir. But, that was just an initial early trade. We'll see if we can make some more here as we get into the close. It's 2:37. The hour of power will be upon us at 3 o'clock, although, like I said, at any point we could hear anything here. It's Friday. It's been pretty slow, right? I mean, like I said, the drive-in has been a jam all week. We have Sharif is now gone. Joe's gone. Brendo's around, but it's a pretty light day overall trading-wise as the weather probably everywhere is gorgeous right now. And
so it was a little hot outside.
Exactly. So I think that's perfect.
Well, the weather was kind of nasty yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was really humid. Today it's okay. It's like 85
well, we got
degrees.
Stupid humidity, and then we got a thunderstorm last night. So.
Yeah, that was fun. It cooled everything down.
No, it did cool everything down.
We didn't get to play, though.
Well, we didn't get to practice. So.
Oh, you didn't? Why not?
Well, remember I said once
our game went on from 6:30 to 8.
Well, the problem was once the radar showed the rain was going to come at the end of practice, couple that with the fact that it was 45 degrees with the humidity, and a bunch of parents just they didn't want their 7 or 8 year olds in that heat, and they're like, it's going to rain at the end anyways. And once the numbers get down to a certain thing, like the other head coach, his 2 kids weren't going to be there because they're away. And so, the numbers would have been too low. I'm like, look, I can if Aaron wants to practice, we can do stuff in the backyard. If only 2 or 3 kids are going to show up, we'll just call.
We have 3 kids showing up tomorrow for practice, but we're still doing it, of course.
When it gets to that point, because it's just myself, the third coach, and our kids, I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day,
especially if it's going to rain,
I'll just throw it because Aaron likes. We'll just go to the park and do our own BP, which we do anyway.
Lightning. You don't want these kids holding these metal bats.
Or metal cleats.
Hanging out there.
They didn't have that rule when we were kids?
Yeah, we don't allow metal cleats.
They used to when we were young, you were allowed to have metal cleats. And I remember when I was a kid playing with metal cleats, and this was also back then they didn't always have the rule with 1 lightning strike and you got to stop play. I distinctly remember being at a tournament in metal cleats where we saw a lightning strike that was, I don't know how far away it was, but we kept playing until the rain came. And nowadays.
No. Now there was lightning there, and they canceled it immediately. I was just like, whatever, man. It was too bad because it was guaranteed win night. I have fun like that.
Guaranteed what? Oh, the team you're playing.
No, not really. I was just trying to motivate the kids. I was like, this is guaranteed win night.
Oh.
And we would have won, but
I thought there was there was that team in the league.
No. They're actually pretty. I think they're 2nd or 3rd place. Anyways, we played tonight again. Tomorrow is family movie night. We're doing pizza, we're doing nachos, and we're watching Happy Gilmore 2. I also want to watch that John Cena movie with Idris Elba, State of the Union.
No, Heads of State.
Heads of State. Did you watch it?
No, not yet. I added it to my list a couple of days ago.
We're waiting for
that. Looks hilarious.
My kids haven't been home much. Now they're home.
I also thought that somebody told me that other movie that Cena made wasn't going to be funny.
Every John Cena movie.
No, what was the name of it? The one where he pretends to be. The one where he's pretending to be. There's a group of friends and they have a buddy who they always talk about. Yeah,
that's hilarious. Ricky Stenicki. It's literally
somebody told me, it was like, don't watch it. It's stupid.
Who is that somebody?
I don't remember who it was. It might have been somebody in the chat one day when I was like, I'm going to add it to the list. That was freaking hilarious. I loved Ricky Stenicki. He was great. He was great in that. My daughter loves Cena. Look, I'll tell you right now, there was something I was saying on the midday show.
He got hair transplants because everyone was making fun of him at WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah. Or at Hell in the Cell.
Embrace it, man.
And WrestleMania.
You got to be okay with it. I'm okay with it. Be comfortable. Be comfortable in yourself. I'm never going to color my hair. I might go bald because I actually do like it, but I might shave my head because I like the look.
To each their own. I mean, there's obviously people around here that
but that's fine.
Opposite of that. Yeah.
It's like whatever. Just be comfortable with whatever your choice is, and don't do things because other people want you to do them.
Except for trading.
But the other thing is, we were talking about patterns. I can tell you right now, the morning was the number of times. I'm used to a certain. It's weird. It shouldn't matter that much, in terms of.
I know what you're going to say. It does matter.
No, it's
where
in
you're
terms
sitting?
of where I'm.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
It was also you guys can't see we don't have that camera where you guys can see the layout anymore, do you? Because when everything is flipped.
I think people understand, like when you're looking one way,
like
for me too, I'm always looking this way at my screen.
But you know what I screwed up? I have level 2s connected to charts. Level 2s here connected to charts here. And when I flipped them on the other side, I didn't transpose them properly. So I would go over and I'd have like the chart, like this chart should be for that level 2, and I didn't have that correct, and I kind of messed it up. And at the open, I was all over the place, and I was like, I need to have this set up properly before I actually get into any trading. And the only trade that set up for me right at the open that I really liked was actually the Intel short. And the first thing I did was keystroke it. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's just get everything set up and be okay with it. Because once you have a pattern, and I probably sat in this chair on the right side for like 2 years straight since the last time I had to sit in the left desk, and I didn't have a layout. I had to make up the layout, which was kind of annoying. But I can tell you right now that Tesla's pulling back into the volume weighted average price. This is what we're waiting for. It's 316, not 315, by the way. Like I said over at the other desk, I think my VWAP was just wrong over there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully we don't lose him.
Google, you won't lose Steve Austin for a while there. Yeah, I mean, I hope not. It's too bad about Hulk, that is for sure. But there it goes, man. There's Google. Let's go, man.
Money.
Again, man, the 4 for 4 day, like I said, man, just continues to go here with Google, with Palantir, with TQs. The TQQ trade was a great one, too, breaking right there. But there goes Google near the high of the day again. The high of the day is that 194 break, but we're going to wait to see if we can get back into those levels. Hopefully we can, and we'll be able to celebrate with some kind of a victory there. But for right now, we wait for Google to get back to that 194. What's up with Love the Trade? AMD broke 167. Yeah, okay, so shout out to you because that was, did I just get filled on something? No, okay. All right, AMD, just really quick, make sure I don't have any orders out. The only order I have out right now is Google's stop order. And I just, our Google stop order was breaking that 192.50 part. So right now we are well in the money, 2 or 3 to 1 on that trade. But yeah, there it goes, Love the Trade. We actually had mentioned that break right there of 167. So if you like the trade, and you're probably in it already, but it's right here right now. And I did hear what Neil said about maybe waiting to see, like, you know, if there is sort of any kind of follow through or anything on this, because it is the middle of the day right here at 240. I mean, we're getting close to the end, but not too actionable trades right now, especially with the futures doing what they're doing. I mean, obviously being long right now, we're hoping for a continued break higher right there on the Nasdaq. But, you know, from yesterday, the big story is obviously we're Intel as we go. I mean, okay. It's funny because I have Intel written down here. If we get a pop, we want to fade, but there was no pop today, so there was no fade, and we're at the highest spot we've been at all day here today, just watching the stocks that we're watching, right? I mean, did I put that order out on Tesla? No, I did not. 318.50 is where we want to get out on Tesla, so we're going to put that out right there. Because AMD's ripping, probably NVIDIA's also heading.
Really.
No, not really. Okay, so it is an AMD day. You know, we talked about that on the rundown, up over 3% is AMD when NVIDIA's down. To me, that's just a buy opportunity for NVIDIA because it shouldn't be anywhere down compared to AMD, but again, sometimes it's the rally in Reddit and some of those other names, some of those other websites to get going.
SMCI
Traders look at certain names, and there it goes. But wow, this Google is now a Dollar Club member. We've probably taken, again, you know, I don't know, man. It's a trading show. I'm going to talk about trades. And sometimes people say, well, all you talk about is winning trades. I'm 4 for 4 today. And this trade we just have on right now is another $1. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty good one. And we're going to take some profit out as we get closer to 94. So there's another out for us as we approach a key level of 94. And it's just coming out right there again. I don't know if we have any index rebalancing or anything today as it is a Friday. We'll double check our notes. Maybe I can do the Shreve thing and ask ChatGPT. But for right now, we're just looking for mild gains here in the broad market. The ES up, actually pretty good gains. ES up 0.44, NASDAQ up 0.34. I mean, the chart on some of these things on the daily is just absolutely ridiculous. You want to talk about a bull run. A lot of these things that happen on Opendoor, on LIDR, on COS, we're in such a bull market where there's a lot of traders that have made a lot of money holding on to long, so they're putting this money to work, influencing, yeah, but getting these stocks to go, and it's just a lot easier when the stock market looks. Can you believe this is the market? Like this is ridiculous right here. Like you're talking about when Trump was like, guys, buy the market. That was right here. That was down at 434. You're at 567 on the Nasdaq right now. I'm just giving it halfway up because you're obviously not going to buy the very bottom when he says that. But even if you got involved an hour in, you're long down here, 450, something like that. Look at this market just continue to climb higher. First of all, why is this candle red would be the question I have to ask. But there it is, a nice move to the high side right there, just kept on going. Every single major red day has basically been covered up the very next day by a green candle. So, I mean, the market is long right now. People are buying it up. The Nasdaq new intraday high. S&P 500 new high. Dow new high. Deckers, I mean, the retail side of things this morning, hot, right? Hookah, Uggs, everyone buying everything. This looks a lot like Intel today. A lot of the earning plays actually didn't move, but Newmont Mining moved. NEM moved. We didn't trade this one, but this was a good mover on the day. We started off down here, nice little bump up. It's kind of been hovering around. And then Paramount, I don't know if that's, is this buyout worthy trading? I don't, no, it hasn't moved down.
Well, so the thing about Para is it's like a weird deal, and it was PARR.
RRR?
PARRA, I believe, is the other one that was PARAA. Okay. So there's like two symbols to look at. PARAA was the one that was.
I'm tired.
Yeah, like that one was the 23 cash. And I think it's one of those, like, it was good news, but there was no trading whatsoever to be done. I looked at it, it just sort of para faded on the day, and then PARAA didn't do any volume, so there wasn't really anything there. Tesla's at VWAP, which is about the only thing I'm looking at right now. Outside of SMCI is about to break 54. We talked about that on the midday, and it never did, but it's trying to right now. And SMCI sometimes move like it's a 3x daily leveraged name, but it's not. That said, if you are a Canadian trader, guess what? You now have the opportunity to boost your exposure by looking at NASDAQ 100 and S&P 500 3x daily leveraged ETFs with Beta Pro by Global X, everybody. They're aiming to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of currency swings. They've got built-in FX hedging, which is a fantastic feature for anyone wanting the stabilization between the currencies, which is important these days. So that way, whether you're bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for the active day trader ready to take on the markets. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Shout out to them. Scan the QR code you see in front of you. So as I said, Tesla's at VWAP. There's Tesla bouncing on VWAP. It's about 316 and change. If it loses 316, I am going to want to get out of it, Austin. Oh, man, goodness. I was watching some videos last night. And
oh, yeah, you said you were going to do that.
Yeah, on the train home, like they, take advantage of the free Wi-Fi on the train and watch.
You never run out of data anyway.
Yeah, watch some Hogan stuff. Whatever. I'm reminded of just how fun it was when you're a kid and enjoying. Like, it's fake, but I remember how much fun I had watching, like, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and I ended up watching a bunch of other wrestlers.
I mean,
not
Jake
just
the Snake Roberts didn't have like a deadly snake climbing all over everybody?
I love Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake, not just because my last name is Roberts, but I loved Jake the Snake. So I'm going to take a shot at a 54 break on SMCI. I just want to quickly show you. He's the man. The other day when people said, what's your favorite finishing move? And I was like, I put it in the chat. We weren't on. It was the midday show was on. I was like immediately DDT because of Jake the Snake.
I like the Randy Savage elbow off the top rope. It's pretty sweet. The frog splash.
But I just wanted to point out one thing about this break. There's overhead resistance at 54.25 on SMCI. So this could be a situation where I get in. If immediately it fails the first quarter, I might want to jump out of that trade rather quickly. But I think this looks very, very strong. Jimmy the Fly Snuka as well. Oh my goodness, there's so many you can get into from that era that I just absolutely loved. But SMCI, we're talking about what was moving and what wasn't in the chip space, and NVIDIA wasn't going and AMD was. SMCI is going as well. I don't think there was a particular story with regards to them, but good little bounce. It's wanted this breakout for a while. There you go. 54 has been a huge, huge level. I'm just looking for the break 54. Once you get through the 25 or the first quarter, I think you have room to give yourself that $1 or $2. No, Tesla just cannot hold on to VWAP. It was so good at the volume weighted average price earlier, but just not this time. So we had it early. It does look like it's giving it up. Tesla just doesn't want to go. We had it a couple times in the midday. Yeah. It gave one bounce for me, and then I tried it a second time, no moss. What happened here? Oh, yeah. I'm like, why didn't I go long here when it retook VWAP? That's because I was resetting myself up over here. That was, you know what, that's the time. The first time it goes through VWAP, but then whatever. I wasn't ready to trade at that point, so that is what it is. Tesla losing the bid a little bit here, but my order is out on SMCI. Next week.
Position board.
Oh yeah, the position board just went down. Next week, if SMCI makes that, if it doesn't break today and it breaks next week, I still want it. This feels like, whoops, this is the wrong daily chart. SMCI has been making micro moves to the upside. It just feels like it's ready to make a bigger one with this consolidation. Like we're going to finally get that, give it a couple of days and it goes 10 to 15% instead of these smaller moves on SMCI. It's just coiling and coiling and coiling. Like you can't tell me when everything is going meme crazy that SMCI isn't due for a little something special.
Right.
So that's why I want to take a shot at the 54 break and I want to try it next week as well.
All right, so yeah, a couple shots there on Tesla, and we get out as well as Tesla there breaks through VWAP. So we'll conclude again a pretty good day on Tesla as we'll wait to see what comes of it now. Looks like we may fade back out, but I mean Tesla big time trading today for me. It'll be P&L number 2 on the day. We'll have Palantir, then Qs, and then our good friend Google, and we just actually talked about getting some out there on Google. Just some points here right now. ServiceNow yesterday had a big day, giving some back a little bit today. It's a $1,000 name, so it's not something that we're going to be looking at, but that's now down 2%. They had a decent day yesterday, but nice move. What just happened there? TQs. We got out some more of the futures right there. ServiceNow had a deal there with Google last night. And $1.9 billion server deal or something like that. So we're going to watch out for ServiceNow and see if that can keep on going. If we're going to have a quick little broader look on everything, let's reset this and give you guys an opportunity here to get your votes up in. So we're going to fresh start this. Type in the chat. Get this chat going a little bit right here. So thanks to Fabian for building this up. All right, so everybody in the chat, all you have to do is type in $BBAI. There it goes, and they start, basically producing. I don't know how. Obviously, there's some way to do this, but shout out to Fabian there for getting all of these symbols in here. Like there's Big Bear AI. They're all just sort of coming in right now. So as you start to put different names in the chat, make sure I want to say a big shout out to everybody that's part of our mobile stream as well right now. Thank you so much for supporting that. The mobile stream's been hot lately, so we want to give a big shout out to everybody watching on their mobiles. Ethereum there, IBM, a day 2 play. We like that. CoreWeave, interesting today as well. Down 4% CoreWeave. Okay, that might be worth looking at. Rigetti. Not only did Fabian do all of this, it also shows current trading data. So if you click on Palantir, it's going to show you the chart. It's going to show you everything, the high, the low, the volume, all of that right into here, man. This guy, great work so far, Fabian. Thanks for building that. And I mean, it's mean a lot to us for the visualization of said stocks. So yeah, get your answers in there and let us know what you guys want us to look at. Oh no, we're covering the computers up. We got something going on. I think they're doing the floors again over the weekend, right? Is that what's happening, Russell? Yeah, so they're getting the floors ready to go. There we go, covering it all up. Because that obus form, make sure you cover that up, Russell. We don't need any sort of problem with Sharif, man. This guy bench press us over our...
Or you could cover everything but the obus form up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, then you'll be responsible for that one, Neil. But
I can run again. I can run fast.
We'll get that covered up right there. Yeah, eat some salad, Neil. But yeah, for right now, that is ServiceNow, another name there. I'm going to have a quick look at everything in a couple minutes. I just wanted to review also some of the stocks that have been going back and forth here today. As sometimes we don't go over all of the names. We just go over some of the names that you guys want to look at. But let's just see what's going on in the overall market here today. J&J. So, yeah, I guess a good day overall, right? I mean, you don't see too much red here across the board. If you do see anything, maybe the health technologies had a little bit of an up and down spot there. We saw Eli Lilly bounce around today. There was that HIMS news, so that could be a play there somewhere regarding HIMS. But Eli Lilly makes the move up. J&J. J&J's had a great run as of late, right up there to 170. We talked about trimming some of that off, as you know, 170 has been the high for J&J. As you know, traders looking for some dependable stocks. J&J's been pretty consistent over its lifespan with a decent dividend and not a tech name. So maybe a little bit of a switch over into J&J, giving back a little bit there today. Other than that, consumer non-durables not having great time again. And these are just the easygoing stocks. They're the ones that aren't necessarily ripping and tanking every single day. We wait for earnings on these plays. Pepsi, Coke down, Procter & Gamble down. Again, as we get some more deals going through here, we wait to see what that next shoe to drop is as far as China and EU, right? A lot of these names playing hard. Colgate, they're playing hard in the EU. So watch out for that as well, Philip Morris. So that's what's going on a little bit in some of these stocks. The tech space just continues to be hot. Microsoft, Google, Meta, Broadcom, Apple, Nvidia just keeps on going and going and going. GE, Cisco, they're all pretty hot today. Even our guy Tesla over here up 3% with a nice move. Amazon's the one maybe to look at. Amazon's had a huge run. We got a question earlier about Amazon and heading into earnings, and you know what was sort of the thought there behind those kind of plays. My thought about Amazon is, if you like the stock, here's ServiceNow. Let me just call it up for you on Amazon. I just think you buy more on dips, man. I mean, always nervous hands heading into earnings calls because you never know what they're going to report or what they're going to talk about. But if AWS was a good driver for them last quarter, you sort of saw the number from Google, you know, their cloud was strong. I know Google's cloud might be a little bit different because of some of the offerings that they have with Gemini and their pro accounts, and they're giving more space and more storage. And some of that storage has come at a discount for many clients as well. So we'll see if Amazon has any takes on that. But I really like the stock. I think if you're looking at a daily chart here for Amazon, any kind of pullback into 225, they report, most of these stocks are coming through next Wednesday or Tuesday. AMZN, I'll get that for you exactly. 11 days. So they're in 2 weeks Tuesday, so August the 5th. So they're not coming next week, but that's going to be a big report. Is that right?
Same day as AMD.
Hold on a second.
AMD's
in 6 days. Sorry, that was Opendoor. Was August 6th. Sorry, in 6 days. So it is next week, Thursday, July 31st. So a day after Fed, we'll get Amazon. I think you could wait for it, man. Any pullbacks into this area, great. Anything into the 215, another great spot. But you're well off of, I don't know why the 200's not populating, but you're well away from the 200 period moving average. That's always a little scary. So I would say hold your horses on Amazon. I don't necessarily know if I'd buy more up here, but a great run for AMZN. Let's see if it continues into next week. Thursday, earnings call for Amazon. I know you picked up some Google yesterday. I'd wait for Amazon.
After earnings, I'd agree with that. Yeah. I think I was waiting for a little confirmation.
Names, really.
It was just fine.
Unless you're taking a shot on
the difference with Google was that its valuation is nice, so that makes it a little bit easier to pull the trigger. Like, my concern would be like the disappointing first move that Alphabet had on what was the great quarter. It wasn't quite as strong initially as you would have liked to see, but maybe that'll bode poorly for Amazon. I have no idea. But my real concern with Amazon has nothing to do necessarily with Amazon. It's that at the very first sign of CapEx spend going down between them, Google, which didn't happen, and Microsoft, and there's some stuff that I'm looking to sell. And I will certainly I'm going to be a seller of at least 10% of my GE Vernova if one of the big three hyperscalers decreases their CapEx, and I'll probably trim some SMR as well. Like those nuclear names, once any of those guys say we're not spending as much on AI and the data center, that's just carte blanche to take some profits in things like GE Vernova. So we're getting real close here. SMCI is about to break. It's got a consolidation level of oddly enough, 53.76, which means the quarter level is the area to watch. There's overhead resistance at the quarter, and you've got a little bit of a shake level here as it just held 53.74. Well, that's right. I can't have my stop in until I actually get the position because I'm using an edge A stop. What I like is there's certain stop orders we use where I could have both put in, but I'm gonna have to wait till I get filled on the breakout and then put my stop to cover me. Then we got out of Tesla, that's now back into 315. Looks like it's running out of steam just a little bit. There goes SMCI. Oh, Google also went to Google just bounced off 193 cleanly. Got to get my stop order in there on SMCI and see where this one can go. Now, if you weren't paying attention before, SMCI has 54.25 as overhead resistance. If it can chew through that, there's almost like another wave that it has potentially to the upside. That goes from the 15th, so that was like a couple of weeks ago, or like last week on Monday, I guess, or Monday or Tuesday, when it made that high. So that's what it's trying to press into. I want to make sure I should be taking it out in front of that level, and we'll see how far that bad boy can go. But Google just bounced off 193, even almost. Ooh, that was one heck of a trend break. I kind of stopped trading this at about noon when it lost VWAP and then didn't get back into it when it gained VWAP, right? Because we were in the rundown and I was setting up. That's kind of silly, but that's the only chance. It was right here. You could have had it off VWAP. This morning, suffice to say, I liked it at 93. That's kind of obvious. I was buying in front before. If we get a chance to dip in front of it again, I think I will take that opportunity. I love Alphabet, and the only thing that's maybe not the best, that big trend line that it's doing, it's back underneath the trend line. That said, not terribly worried about it. It's green today, and it's stronger than the market today, so there's relative strength in it, despite the fact that it kind of snuck underneath this trend line that it's been respecting, but it's really holding the top. Like, I know, technically speaking, it's not closing above that trend line, but I still feel like it's breaking out, because that's what it's telling me with its relative strength. So I'll try to get those 93s if we can. We'll see how far SMCI can go, and let's know what else you guys are watching here. As far as Tesla goes, it's trying to bounce 315, but that's been in such a downward trend. You know, this was your one chance. The first time off VWAP was the best chance to go. And you gotta, I always say this, I always like it best the first time off a level or a setup as opposed to the second or third time, especially with like a reversion like that. Feel like, you know, you try it here and you win, you try it here and you lose, whatever. But you don't get it here, and then you try it the second time, that always sucks. So a bit of a fail to have not gotten it at 2 o'clock when it bounced off VWAP. 3% for Tesla is good. It just felt like it was going to hold better than this, like a few hours ago.
Yeah, Tesla, yeah, exactly. I was thinking that we weren't going to break the, I don't know why I was muted there. Like we were going to break some kind, I was going to sneeze, that's why I never did it. Break view up. But I mean, this is why we talk about Google, right? We talk about simple trade, simple man. You know, you get up to those highs and you got to get out. So we have now we have 10% left now of Google as we get into there. So, all right, let me just check out the stock visualizer and what you guys want to talk about. It looks like Big Bear AI will get there. Tesla also on the watch. Palantir, Rocket Lab. So let's go over some Big Bear AI. We actually haven't looked at Big Bear AI yet here today. This name, of course, is the Trader TV Live family, which is all of you. I think I'm the only one around here. I think that's long Big Bear AI. But you know, we talked about this name at $3, $4, $5, and we also talked about it at $8.50. That was the last time I got some out. Now it is going to look like yeah, $8.50, but we got out live on the show at $8.50 when we were telling everybody it was actually $8.53 is where we got out of some Big Bear AI when it was starting to pop through. We also got some out in and around here too, $6.50 once we took out that level. We actually didn't get an opportunity to get any out down here at $6 because once it popped through, it was this day on this candle where we said, you know what, we've broken back down through here. And you guys have asked me, because I've been talking about Big Bear AI for months, what was the bull case? We gave it to you, broke it down. I hope it was, again, taken, or if not, that's fine. I mean, it's not going to fit everybody's. I don't have as much money in this as I wish I did, so now we have to wait for it to pull back down a little bit. I actually think it's pretty constructive what it's doing right now. Those of you, or those of us, who knows who did it, but bought up in and around here, $8, that's probably a mistake. We only spent about 7 or 8 days above $8 in its lifetime. So we're gonna have to now wait to see what happens the next time we get in and above this area. Remember, you're gonna wait for big short floats. This has one. This is a 25% short float on Big Bear AI, if not a little bit more than that. So on earnings, this stock has a great opportunity to go. All they gotta do is report some kind of profitability, and this thing is moon. So again, hold whatever you want. I'm out of about 20 to 25% of my position. I think that was a good call. We talked about that earlier. How much of this do you hold versus how much do you not? I got a question on Palantir. That stock has been like almost the first 10 plus bagger that I've ever actually held with any kind of conviction. So, I mean, Palantir, again, another one of those names. Like, there we go. Okay. Wow, that was really weird. My whole order log just disappeared and came back. I've never even seen that happen before. All right, so Palantir, I was like...
That doesn't seem good.
The whole order log disappeared and came back. So I don't know what it's trying to tell me. Maybe I should just log off right now. But
you know what they say, log out and log back.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But right here, maybe I should. Palantir anyways, great movement to the upside. And it is to toot our own horn because, again, this is another name that Prad got me this hat when Palantir was like $20 because all I could do was talk about it. And there it is, Palantir Investor. So if we're talking about it at 20 bucks, it's at 160 right now. I just think that, hey, with this kind of a parabolic move, we always feel like real bad when this kind of a move happens and you're always questioning life and what have you done. I would just say that if you are, I like that, Fabian, or Andre, if you are looking at Palantir right now and thinking, A, the 350 PE is a little too frothy, check, agreed on that one, face slap on that number for sure. But at the same time, that has been the case for this whole move up. That was always the case on Palantir. It was never valued as a value stock. It's the whole point of this is it's a shot, and the shot's already been made. And if you've taken it and done well, I would say just either keep on riding it, trim something off. Like I said, man, take a vacation, do something. I'm going to try to hold Palantir for 2 bills. I still think we can get to 200 bucks. And again, that's just a psychological level. We're not holding this for any other reason other than momentum. It's really playing. And again, you know, with Trump and all this talk about military spending, I think Palantir continues to win. It's the reason why I like Google. It's the reason why I think I'm going to be buying some more CrowdStrike. Maybe I have been. I like this stock. I like Palo Alto. I mean, I like the business of cybersecurity, and that's just another one of those sort of themes that I think you want to play here as we look for more opportunity heading into the second half of 25, because Neil,
it's huge.
They're not stopping interest rate. Like interest rates right now, we already looked at the odds. It's around a quarter of a chance, or about 40% chance that we get that quarter point high, cut in September. So we'll wait to see. Nothing's going to happen in July. It's like 97% chance of nothing. Then we'll wait. And there was a 40% chance that we get 2 cuts by the time December's here. So that's 50%. That's good for Opendoor. It's probably good for some of these. Can't believe we're saying like Opendoor like that, but could be good for them with interest rates.
Well, the thing about Opendoor, why I think you have to keep an open mind, is exactly the Carvana thing. And we had this question. It was joking around in the midday show, but does anyone actually think Carvana is worth that valuation? But I could have asked that question when Carvana was at 150 bucks, and it would have been still a stream of 2s instead of 1s, myself included. It's still doubled from there. The stock market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent if you decide to bet against something that's trending to the upside. It's that simple. And I guess it's the other way too. Like, you just keep buying something that's trash then that you think is valuable, then you can still get burned. Although I would say this, if you are dip buying something that you think is undervalued for fundamental reasons, that is, in my opinion, infinitely better than blindly shorting into something just because you think it's nonsense. Because one of them is far more likely to destroy you than the other. Dip buying on something that you think has value in the long run probably isn't going to kill you, even if it means you could have had your money somewhere else, an opportunity cost. But it's very unlikely to ruin things for you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Intel caught a bottom, and it's not you're not losing money buying Intel's low. But if you short open and it goes to 40, you're finished. You're not a hedge fund with billions that can just keep on holding it forever. That's how they win those things, because they can hold it literally forever. knowing eventually it's going to come down. We can't do that. That's why I do not short things in my personal account. Just one other note here. The Google Alphabet just came back to 93s and was nice enough to bounce off 05. So thank you. But it's struggling to get through the volume weighted average price here. There was a halt that I'll get to in a quick little second on, I don't know the name, MCVT. So I haven't traded it, caveat. When I pull it up, it'll be my first time looking at it today, which I always like to say. There's a difference between names that we do in the rundown or we've been talking about or I've looked at the chart. But if it's the first time I'm looking at it, you guys should know. SMCI is like slowly climbing in. Remember first resistance is at the first quarter, that 54.25. So I have an offer out in front of that. And now we can go to MCVT, which looks like it's halted for the second time this afternoon. No, it's the first hold. That's weird. It shows, whatever, my scanner it unhalted. That's what's showing up on my scanner. So MCVT up 220%. Yikes, what is this thing all about here? Mill City Ventures, what is going on? There's literally isn't a story other than that it halted. Nothing on my news.
Circuit breaker to the upside.
Yeah, circuit breaker to the upside, and the other stories from 2 weeks ago.
I mean, it's probably.
I'm going to just check the fundamentals because it's probably just a low float name.
Mill Street Organic?
The float's 2.7 million, so that's about it.
It's probably done.
Yeah, and it's done, well.
70 million?
What is that, like 30 times?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's done 30 times its float.
Has it done 7? No.
87.
Oh, wow, good guess.
So 30 times its float has been turned over on no news that I can find. If somebody knows what the news is on this stock, that'd be great, but I can't find it whatsoever. So just be a little bit careful. Probably some kind of a soak the float situation where there's a limited amount of shares out there. So if they all get bought up early and then it gets pumped, guess what? Anyone that shorts it intraday, if the people that were soaking it up early on big volume don't release their shares, anybody shorting this move when it breaks out again is trapped. So, and that can move the stock the same way an already high short float can. It's a similar mechanic, but it just usually involves a single firm or a group of people or maybe even one person with enough buying power where they have such an accumulation of the float and have such a big position that there's just nothing out there for borrows. They've gotten everything that they can, and then that usually can make it run for a couple of days. So that could be happening on MCVT. That is a monster move that it is now on. Monster. But the market's not doing a heck of a lot here today. I wish I could tell you that the Nasdaq was more than this 1/3 of 1%. Kind of a disappointing day, but I think it's a good sign a lot of times when we.
I mean, the thing is.
No, but when you look at the Nasdaq at the end of the week, okay, we're not doing much, but look at the chart to end the week.
Exactly.
We're consolidating over the highs. What more can you ask for?
I mean, that is literally exactly. That might not be the same.
You can, yeah, you can say
but
that.
I guess you could, yeah. This is why we wrote this down on our sticky note. And again, it's not. Well, I'm going to talk about some more macro stuff in a minute. But there was a TQQs, and we just wrote down exactly that. Was the long breakout of Nasdaq on the weekly break. Like, if there was going to be momentum today, we wanted the 59 long on the TQs. There's Palantir again. I've just been getting some more out. There's another out on Palantir. I'm slowly getting out of everything. See if we could put on some new positions. But there was the 59 break right there. Look, I'd love to find something to put something on. Let me know if there's anything in the chat. We've already sort of looked at many of these things. What's up, this guy B-balling? Neil, do you care about monthly and yearly resistance lines at all? I don't, but we can ask Neil that in a minute. I just look at, for me, it's really just 20-minute charts, 5-minute charts, dailies for breakouts.
If I was swing trading, I would, for sure.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think that's another part of the question, right, is that we don't know exactly,
what's the time for a day trade?
What time?
I don't think they matter on a day trade.
No, I mean, Michael Noss, he talks about doing research over the weekend, and he looks at weekly candles and closes and stuff like that. So I do think that there is some relevance. I want to thank you for that question.
The only way I would use it is it might give me a bias in terms of direction. Like, so when, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Maybe, like, if you look at the load, if you look at the trend, like these trend lines on the daily in Palantir, this gives me a direction. The second it bounced here, directional bias till it gets to the top of the trend line, because it's an upward channel. And when AMD had a downward channel like this, probably last year, AMD had a downward channel like this. Every time it got to the top of the channel, directional bias to the short side until it got to the bottom of the channel. But that just meant you went into the day looking for a day trade. You still had to figure out where you wanted to short it. Like the other day, when Sean was gone, it was almost hilarious. There was which day was it on Palantir? I feel like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The point is, if you looked at Palantir, it's been all up days. Up, 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 up. And then the one reversal of this pullback day was probably the most obvious indicator that you had to be in the long, like the 23rd. And I think it was one of those situations where, like, I had it, I took the reversion almost every single day on Palantir, and then it was this day in here. It was like the 21st. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this day where I had it, and like that was that was like the one day where it didn't really follow through the whole buy the dip because it's an upward trend. The next day was a wipeout bottom and literally the best day to have bought the reversion. But sometimes you get wrapped up in the it didn't work the day before, you don't do it the next day. But if you had just gone back to the trend line tells me I should be looking for the buy the dip reversion every day while it's on the way to the top of the channel. So it's so easy to get wrapped up in, oh man, I did this 2 days in a row, one worked, the last one didn't, don't do it on the third day. Nah. Palantir's pattern is usually, unless it does one of these breakout days, it's buy the dip. Buy the dip, but you have to be patient doing it because sometimes it has a heavy candle like this where it drops down $6, but there's almost always someone in there buying it. And when I say someone, you know what I mean. I just mean like the market in a general sense, like not an actual person, although maybe it is. So SMCI is very, very slowly grinding. It just got to the quarter, has not really bursted through. 54.24 is the high. That was the high from a week ago, so it makes sense. That's the first place as well. I see a few people saying MCVT faces Nasdaq compliance issue.
Oh, maybe that might be part of the rally.
Really? Not because it's a penny stock, though. It's got to be some other reason why it would have a compliance issue. It has not been below $1 ever. Although I've heard something about Opendoor getting close to regaining compliance. How many days in a row has it been? Yeah, I guess so.
How many days does it have?
1, 2, 3. I think it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's not yet. It's not 10
I guess
days.
assuming it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see 9. I think it's a day away. That's big, by the way.
Only a day.
I remember when Mullen was like at 8 days or something, and then it was dropping underneath $1. Yeah. And then in the afternoon, you would see buyers try to push it to $1 late in the day.
So we'll see if we get that.
No, but Open's not going to get there. If Open gets to $1 and it's within a day or two of regaining compliance, there will be buyers. Somebody always tries, but it's not going to get there. It's been too strong. I don't think it gets to $1. Any chance, but whatever. If you see a penny stock in that situation, where it's on the last couple of days to regain compliance over $1 and it's within 90 cents, if I see a buy program or any big bid, because that's what happened on Mullen, someone showed up at like a million shares at 90, you just go long 91 and hope they push it up there. And I hate to use the word hope, but if you know exactly what they're trying to do and you can risk 1 cent, why not do it? So, all right, SMCI went to first resistance and it looks like first resistance is winning. So this might end up being a 25-cent move after all. And it's 320, so if it breaks down underneath 54, I'll just get out flat. It's kind of weird that I got 99s and evens when it broke, which doesn't usually make a lot of sense, but every now and then that happens. It's just the dark pools. And when we use keys, we have the ability to use routing keys that can sweep multiple books. And every now and then you'll get a breakout price that's like flat, which just means in the liquidity vacuum as it broke, someone probably stuffed a last second sell order that you interacted with and you get lucky. Oftentimes you'll get 1s, 2s, and 3s. I think I just got fortunate there.
All right, Marcus. Yes, Marcus. Yes, we will look at Datadog. So again, like this has been a good name because it was added to the S&P 500, right? Or was it the Nasdaq? It was one of them. But there's the gap up there, and you know we talk about where do you want to get long on names. it's like, okay, so we didn't know it was going to get added, took everybody by surprise, poor Robinhood, poor everybody else, et cetera. But Datadog gets it, but then look what happens. Whoops, comes right back in and gives you that exact long again. That matches up here with that January low. So I really like this stock. The fact that we bounced off of its gap there and didn't even really think about filling it. I mean, sure, okay. We got within $1 of filling it, that's fine, but we didn't really back test anything. We didn't test down into here, into 130s. We basically got right to that gap and then we shot right back up. So yes, with 2.4%, again, these guys are the integrity of data, making sure that, all these AI models are being run properly, sourced out for power and everything like that. I like Datadog. I think it's in the right space. I'm not really sure what some of their competition is or anything like that. I don't know if it's Snowflake or I'm not sure, but I don't know a comparable, which is what I would look at. But for right now, Datadog, huge move to the upside, and I just think it continues to work. Again, I like the name. I like the fact that it's now in, I believe it's S&P 500, right? Yep. So I really think that that's a good sort of strong reason to be in the name now. It was added because of its strength. So I like Datadog right there. LLM driven workflows and things like that. So Datadog, again, good space, good name. And if we're going to talk about AI trades still being for real, we had ServiceNow, we had Google. All of these names really came out pretty strong over the last little bit, giving us some of these move higher, right? That GE Vernova, another spot right there powering all of this stuff, and they continue to go higher. So these are not plays that are here just for a minute. These should be plays that work for a while, so yeah, I like Datadog. I did get out of Snowflake at $200, but maybe we should be buying some back in, as that's 10% higher right now. Was right into here, just kept on bouncing its head, so eventually at some point we got out there. Their report, I think, was the very next day or something, went up to 224. And look at this back test again as well, back down into 210, and now going through higher and higher and higher. So some of these plays definitely, have a spot in everybody's portfolio. That is for sure, I believe so.
You know what, Snowflake?
Anyways.
This is where I covered my swing on Snow, but not this time, the last time. I'm looking at a monthly last year. The fact that look at that double bottom, double top. This is a monthly chart, everybody. Just wanted to be able to, look at that. Double bottom essentially at 120, double top. Well, it's not a double top yet, but it's going to be at 240 when it gets there. This could go. You want to play some names that are catch up. I know the valuation's a concern with them, but what isn't, man?
Yeah, they're all.
If you get so hung up on valuation, you would have never had Amazon for years. You would have never had Tesla for years. You wouldn't have Palantir. I wouldn't have GE Vernova. If it was about valuation, I would have sold GE Vernova $300 ago. But although I'll tell you right now, I don't know what. I can't look at that chart and be like, it is GE Vernova. It's not Palantir. How could I not be taking profit? It's not the kind of stock that I expect to do the moves that it's doing. It's trading like it's SMR, which is nonsensical to me. I love the space, and I think they're going to win long term. It's just, it seems a bit much. I can even be someone to tell you that. When I pull up a chart of SMR, I expect it to look like this when it goes, or NNE or Oklo. I expect that. When I pull up CEG, Vistra, GEV, I'm not usually expecting charts to look like that. But hey, bull market, you ride the wave till it breaks the trend as far as I'm concerned. But I do like that Snowflake. I might get back into that one.
That's right. I think it is about trend riding,
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're in the right names in the right space. SMR is a great example. We talked about SMR. I could message my friend here where we were along SMR $11, $12 and still are, and that continues to go higher. But again, to the point is that, we don't talk. You guys know the position on Palantir is quite large. We've talked about that over and over again. But like I was saying, stocks not always are all traded with the same defaults or anything like that in your long-term portfolios. So it's depends on how much exposure you have in some of these plays. I was trimming some individual names and buying indexes. I think that that's pretty important to do, especially when you feel like stocks have got a little frothy. I'll probably do that with Palantir coming up pretty soon. Let's see what happens next week, because next week the big earnings are in the building one more time next week, man. It's Meta, it's Amazon, it's Microsoft. They're all here and they're all ready to go. So we're going to be excited for that into next week. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta. And then, not only that, next week we also have Fed, which
will be a nothing burger, but still.
Yeah, will be a whatever.
Well, this is the crazy
Flush
thing.
down your expectations because,
The tour was more exciting than the Fed day is going to be.
oh yeah, way more exciting, way more exciting. Well, the Fed day, again,
If you haven't checked out the tour, watch it.
the only reason it could be exciting is just, you know, you're going to get the question and answer period. There's always some movements there. I really like trading Fed days. If you guys have watched Fed days,
Oh, you got to be
and you
kidding
think that I trade a lot, you'll see me on Fed day. I by the way, I trade the least now out of all four of us. So most size, but least amount of names. Joe, I think probably, and it's just about fixing up your style. Trade whatever style is best, but I'm trying to fix up that and get more into specific trade plays. So on a Fed day though, I know we'll be trading names like Apple and the futures and things like that. So pay attention for that. But that's July 30th. There is a more important day, and that is the extension. It's taco time. It's August 1st is trade deadline.
Yes.
So trade deadline. What is this, the NHL or something? Tariff deadline. It's your NFL trade deadline day.
I know what you meant.
Where's Shefty and Shams and all those guys? But no, tariff day. And I think that's going to be something that's really exciting to watch out for. For a name, you just mentioned Tesla, for a name like Tesla, for a name like anything right here, as we wait to see sort of where the market will take us on said tariff day. Yeah, what is going on with Tesla right now?
Tesla just
Reuters cites California. I have the news story right here. I don't have it in my ear yet, but this is it right here. Reuters cites California regulatory saying Tesla plans charter transfer service for friends, families, and employees selected members. Tesla is not allowed to test or transport the public, paid or unpaid, in an autonomous vehicle with or without driver.
Rejected by California.
Rejecting California saying, right now to Tesla. So watch out now. I think that is the catalyst that you're looking for to go short right now. Yeah, that's a monster market. If California's not playing nice, not that means that other states will or won't, but that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to see that happen to your stock.
Sure, none of that's political.
Yeah, well, Gavin Newsom hasn't been a fan of Donald Trump. He's obviously a Democrat. Tesla, although obviously known as, I guess, a conservative stock because of Elon Musk's affiliation with Trump, but that is sort of kind of gone by the wayside right now.
You know when you have to hate.
I don't know.
Bad. Anyways, look, it doesn't.
I'm going short.
It's hammering the stock right now.
I don't know.
It's not good news because that's a major state. That's like the size of. Well, I'm not going to punk us, but yeah, it's the size of Canada. It's a huge.
The population.
Yeah, it's a huge market, and that's just not good for them whatsoever.
What is California's population, anyways?
I don't know.
Canada's 42 million.
It's got to be close.
It's got to be close. Here it is right now, man. We talked about trading, and we're not going to ruin our day with any sort of a trade here on Tesla, that's for sure. But we put it back in. Oh, we didn't put it back in. We put a trade on right now. It just bounced off 80. I'll bid 80s to see if we can get 50 cents on. Let's take out a third if it does drip down inside a little bit here. Again, we're going to wait to get some clarification on that. Paid or unpaid autonomous vehicles with or without a driver. Tesla is not allowed to test or transport the public, paid or unpaid, in an autonomous vehicle with or without the driver. So, you know, I punched into basically 10% of a position that I normally would there. We talked about purple being short. It's the only short that we've had all day. As far as giving money back in Tesla, that's just, I'm not going to do that, right? Like, hopefully this holds out. I'll wait until it retakes the 50-period moving average, but other than that, man, I'll just puff, pass and wait on this. So right there, 315.40, willing to take this all the way up there. 315.40, is that what I said? Yeah, 315.40. So we'll average it in. If it comes back up to 314 and change, we'll take a little bit more there. But right now, let's let this settle down. Basically, we can't go red on the stock. We're not taking any kind of a position right now. Just a small one on news. It did go 50 cents in the money, but that's about it. Let's hold out that Tesla does something for us. Right now, it's kind of just cruising around. Palantir back to $3. Google not doing too much. And the future's kind of going downside on this news.
Yeah, I think that Tesla's, the futures weren't moving, but Tesla's enough that when you're going sideways, it's going to bring the market down.
There could be more to that story. That's it.
I was just, yeah, like there isn't more. Like I'm waiting for there to be like an article or something more in depth than just that headline that we just got. But what is going again after I got out flat was SMCI. So SMCI is still above that 54. It did break it. ever so slightly. And I got out at 99s, but that's kind of where our last entry was. But this is really starting to hold. I'm going to look for another entry back into, I hoped it would give me 54s again on SMCI. If we can't get that in the next couple of minutes, then I'll look for it to hold these quarters. And once I can see buyers above the quarters, just jump in here again. But obviously, there's only about 30 minutes left in the day. I'm just going to have this up. There were no, there's nothing expected at the close. I know it's a Friday, but there were no index rebalances or anything that we should be looking forward to specifically. I do see early look TSLZ is there for $1 million to sell. You don't always see that. Maybe it has something to do with the news. FCX is a buy of 1 million shares. That's about it. Nothing else. HIMS is a sell of 500,000. I suppose that could be something. They had a negative news story earlier in the session. Yeah, HIMS has been under a lot of pressure, but it actually recovered pretty well off that. All right, here comes SMCI looking like it's coming right back in to that 54 level. We'll see if we can get 54s again as we did before.
We're, I'm literally just piecing everything out, man. I mean, Palantir's trying to go. We got out some more Google right here as well. We got out some more of the futures here as well on that move down. Maybe we got to put another offer. We're pretty light on everything. Let's go find out who made all the money yesterday. This is brought to you by Real Trading, so we get that money in there. And then also, as we run through all of these gifts, you get stacked up right there. Stack up your cash and get. Where's Ozan these days, my guy? Where's Ozan? Used to always want that cash cow. What's up, Ozan? If you are not here, I guess you won't hear me. Okay, this is who's making money. So it looks like these are real stats, right? I mean, you know, we will read stuff from Trade the Pool and stuff like that. Those are reads. This is, I have no idea what these numbers are before we call them up. This is brought to you by Real Trading. We do have a system here called Trader Information Portal where you can get trader alerts, research notes, the calendars here, the economic calendar, our LMS, which is our training protocol. That's here as well. Market guides, the manual for our softwares here as well. So if you are part of it, we'll just scroll down. These are the top 10 traders today, meaning yesterday. So yesterday, at the end of the day, we run all the numbers, comes through, spits out this lovely chart or whatever this is here. Table is a great word, what I was looking for there, table. So yesterday someone, and these are the markets that they're traded, and all the dollars that you see here are denominated in US dollars. So, okay, so someone yesterday in the Nasdaq 11, I mean, a great day. These are, you know, obviously funded and, you know, traders that have some sort of buying power behind them. $11,000, $9,000, $9,700 for this individual trader trading both the CME, Nasdaq, and New York. Amex, all the way down. Remember, Amex could be many different names. SPY is over on .am as well. So anything that's traded on NYSE American, that would be the Amex. BMNR is another one that is traded. So those could always be. And we always try to like reverse engineer. I don't have any of the stocks. We actually don't publish the stocks on here for the ones that we don't want. I mean, I know the reason why we do that, and it's just
it's an old reason.
Yeah. Anybody that has any questions about what stocks are popular to trade, speak to your trading floor development team. They'll be able to, which was the sort of what I was running before the show, and that was to help trading floors get developed. Good name. Okay, so Amex, NASDAQ, New York, Chicago, CME, right there as well. And we should give a big shout out to O Canada because they're coming in here right at the rear. $4,700, the first Canadian name that we see on here. And yesterday, of course, the top 3 names were all Canadian markets. So we don't have any Blue Ocean on here, anything like that. That could be very, very popular again here at Real Trading. So we want to say thank you to Real Trading, and that's what money is being made over here at Real Trading. We do have, it's a little loud in here. I want to say thank you to everybody who continues to support the show, despite us going through all the renovations. And you can see it's starting to happen.
It's going to be big this week.
Right there. Yeah, this weekend they are starting to, again, sand the floors. We'll get the real floor put in, I guess, at some point. And then after that, man, the desks come in. Randy's building one or multiple, I guess. Hopefully they'll come out, put back in there, and then you start to see things get set up. And then slowly, the new studio.
That's the plan.
Will
Studio 8, everybody.
Will take place. I just want to show you one thing here, and this is not. I'll learn that from Pratt. I'm not going to dox myself. There's nothing to do that with. This is the keyboard setup here that we have on P8, which is the platform that we use here at Real Trading and on the show. I just want to show you. These are all the regions we have: North America, EMA for Europe, Asian, and then Australia and New Zealand. But let's just say you stay in NCSA. Well, this is what we have, man. Bovespa, CBOE, CSE, Canada, a whole bunch of Canada, Forex, Crypto, Chicago, CME, Mini Forexes, Nasdaq, NYMEX, New York, OTC Pink. And then let's just say you say, okay, I'm going to set up my keys to trade Nasdaq. So as you set up Nasdaq, these are all, and someone asked about what hotkeys do we have? Well, these are all the hotkeys I have. Nasdaq, EDGX, Sell, Frex, anything. This is a routing key up here, right? We have different cancel abilities. And these are all the gateways that we have, including Alpha, Arca, Bids, Block, Bank of America, Citigroup, there's Fox River as well, Fidelity, IEX, Jane Street Capital. I mean, there's a bunch, JP Morgan, Knightsbridge. All of these are some of them are liquid marketplaces, are lit marketplaces. Some of them are hidden markets as well. Some of them have different routing capabilities, Morgan Stanley. They're all here, and they're all of this. So there's so much different options for you to trade with. That's why we always say, like, depending on your style of trade, how you're, and they're all keyboard based. So all these keys are F8 or Shift F8 or Control F8. And we even have all these cancel. Look, cancel your oldest, your newest, your furthest, mass cancels, everything. So it's hard for us to sort of discuss what hotkeys we have, but for me, the setups are pretty simple, man. The cancel keys are easy to remember. Most of the keys that I hit don't involve here's just the keyboard. They don't involve, what's up, Neil? They don't involve shift or escapes or anything like that. Just real simple. And that's why we have, you see how these, they are higher up? So there is an indentation there. So for me on the keyboard, it just allows me to, while as I'm talking to you guys, you'll see sometimes I look over, make sure I'm on the right stock, and then I'll just start hitting keys. And I instantly know where my buy keys are, my sell keys are. So sometimes we'll be in and out of trades just like that as we sit here and watch the stock market and talk to you at the same time, able to get in and out super quick. And that's why this platform is built by traders like us. I mean, Neil and I have been using this for over 20 years. So as we think of new ideas, basket orders, stop orders, all of that, all implemented into the platform. It's Real Trading. Go over to realtrading.com and start your journey today.
Yeah, shout out to Real Trading. But you know what? I can tell you a lot of traders at Real Trading, including many on this floor, use eSignal for a fantastic one-size-fits-all platform, the ability to do backtesting, forward testing, level 2 data, level 1 data, imbalance locator, every single, all the indicators you could possibly imagine, all in one place, all intuitive. It's a reliable place, and it's 1 month free, like we've been saying this whole time. 1 month free. You try it out, you like it, great. You don't like it, fine. It didn't cost you anything except some time, which you're putting in anyways if you're in the trading game. Let's be real. If you're trying to make it as a trader, then you're putting in the time and effort to test strategies. You might as well try to level up your game with a platform that's there to help you. Everything all in one place. Whether you want to execute directly through the platform, it hooks up to multiple brokers, or if you just want to use it as a resource to test your strategies out and hone your skills, eSignal is a great one. So scan the QR code you see in front of you. Take advantage of that first month being free over there at eSignal. Shout out to them. I did dip my toes into Tesla, but the buying really came in there. I got to zoom in so you can see. The thing about tight stops is if you use a tight stop, I got to zoom in so that you can even see the exit. No, it tried breaking back down through 314. There's your topping tail. There's your break of the prior bar low. There's your break of the prior bar high where the stop would be, but it's continuing to go up. What's the other direction of what Alphabet is doing? Oh, come on, Alphabet. Sometimes it does go right to the volume weighted average price and turn around. Sometimes it isn't just a line on a chart, resistance exactly at VWAP while it holds the 193. SMCI, I didn't get into SMCI, everybody. Close to, it didn't pull back into 54 the other time. We took the breakout, had a break-even stop. It came right back in, ran to the highs. We're getting a bit later on in the session, so I don't know if I'm going to get back into this before the imbalances come out. And they are about the same. TSLZ, 1.3 million to sell. That's the biggest one. FCX is still 1 million to the buy side, everybody. So that's one of the things that we like to look at the close. Sometimes when you see those big numbers, maybe it's trades at the close here, Real Trading. Nothing that we're anticipating that'll be huge. But on a Friday, for obvious reasons with options expiration, it being the end of the week. Sometimes you will get bigger than normal imbalance numbers. And Merrick's, QuantumScape. There's a name we kind of forgot about. I shouldn't say we, I'll just say me. A different preparation for myself this morning because I spent probably more time than I needed to setting up my station over there. I mean, twice as much time as it should have taken, but that was on me because I kind of mucked it up trying to recreate this layout over there. QuantumScape, this is the definition of barcoding in the afternoon, but like the futures, this is almost like a good barcode. And when I say it's a good barcode, it's barcoding above resistance. So nice recovery day, in a sense, on QuantumScape because it's well off the lows and it's trying to make their bounce play. Obviously, it was disappointing on earnings for them. Everyone wants this to work. I think so. I think everyone wants solid state to work. But at the end of the day, going into earnings, this had gone so far, so fast, it would have been hard for it not to pull back and have there be profit taking. Earnings give you fundamentals, but it doesn't necessarily mean you don't have that whole sell the news still. You can still have quality earnings and then have a sell event or even just meeting expectations. I'm pretty sure, these guys lost less money than was expected. It just didn't make a difference because the stock had quadrupled or at least tripled up from some of its recent lows and was going meme crazy. So a lot of times you run into that kind of a wall of profit takers, and at the end of the day, it's holding on to a double bottom at 11 bucks. So I still think this bottom actually looks really good what happened today. Still have to have this hold on Monday when we come in next week, but I like the look of that. It's a wipeout bottom that held a prior support level, and if it doesn't make a fresh low after its report, that's usually one of the signs you can head back to the upside. So more sideways action for Google. That's disappointing. Tesla, yeah, it's probably the right thing to get out. I don't know. I don't know how big of a story that news might be. It could have just been an algo type event, and now you're just headed right back in higher. Not really sure if the sellers were in control going into that story, and it had already dropped $10. So that could be part of it. Like you would drop 10 bucks from the high when you got that story, and maybe it was just an opportunity for shorts to be like, ha, we can get a good cover in here. I don't know. SMCI's probably got one more chance, and that's about it, because we only have 7 minutes till imbalances.
I'm going to get some more out here on Palantir as we get ready to go. So I got up, got some water, so shout out to Hydration Nation. We did get stopped out there, breaking through 315 on Tesla. I just heard what Neil said. I was like, okay. So we'll actually wind up giving back about 5% of the day there on Tesla. Oops. And that's what I was saying. Remember we talked about going blindly into some trades? I mean, that was one where it's just like we were.
But there was negative news.
Yeah, there was news. I mean, I guess it wasn't super negative, but yeah, there's that move that we talked about. The move probably happened already. So I was actually going to say, like, man, I don't know. We really hit the long on Tesla early. It is, I don't have a problem switching up my opinion of a stock. I mean, that's which way the wind blows. But, underneath VWAP, that's probably a decent spot there. But heading into the close, as the market goes this way, Tesla's not. So there could be definitely something in and around there where Tesla does have some buyers in it against this market. So, okay, more outs there. You just saw me getting out on the TQs up here. So we have a very, very small piece left. But heading into these closes, heading into the imbalances, you know what? Let's just whack it all out right here at 12. So there it is, or 13s actually. There we go. We cancel that trade. That's going to be a good one, man. Again, we're going to go 4 for 4 today. Google, Palantir, the TQs, and Tesla, all sponsored by your completely free sticky note. Again, every single trade that I took was not just based off of that, but those were what I was looking at. And then we got our location correct on what we were doing there with our direction correct with most of those stocks. I mean, thankfully, Palantir broke that 156 and just kept on going. And that was like a trade that I'm going to remember for a very, very long time. LIDR, I mean, wish we could look at this. It does drip down into VWAP. We talk about always respecting those kind of plays in the middle of the afternoon, especially as we get closer and closer into the close. Join Steve Tileman tonight and myself as we'll talk about different, movements this week, what he's looking at for next week. He liked a name. I'm going to talk to him about SoundHound. This was a name that when we had talked about Big Bear AI ripping and going crazy in the last couple of weeks, he brought to our attention SoundHound. So I'm going to ask him. Oh no, one of these talks again. He's probably out again, but we'll figure out. We'll ask him what's going on with SoundHound. He might still be in again above the $10 mark, above 200 period and the 50 period moving average. A name that he had liked for AI reasons, so we could definitely have a look over there with Steve, and anything else, questions you may have for him, let me know, and we'll be asking that ASAP of Steve and whatnot. All right, so Google again, just in the same sort of vein of getting out of position as we head into the moving, into the end of the day, into the imbalances, not moving averages. We'll get out. This is at right now the 50 and the 200, so we'll get some out there. Let's look at Amazon, 231, not doing too much, but does look like it wants to break out. 232, a great look for Amazon. Again, earnings all next week. Meta, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft coming through. Should be a big one.
Biggest mover of the four?
Meta, I think. Meta, and the reason why I say Meta is it has a lot of room to go to the upside as well. If they can actually come up with a big report, this 760 is in danger, in my opinion. 750, 760. That is a high that we've already had. So if they can have a good report and they come out on, what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday? If they're anywhere near 700, I think you get 10% easy day upside, breaking through that 750 and then continuously gone. We still want to wait to hear about their Ray-Bans. We still want to wait to hear about what Oculus is doing. And then, of course, what is their plan moving forward with CapEx? They're trying to do all these hires and everything like that. So I would say Meta, probably the biggest mover.
And monetize the WhatsApp. I was going to say Amazon.
Okay, yeah.
I put Meta number 2. I feel like the one I have the least confidence in being fun is Apple. That's the, I don't know, like Apple, every time Apple's looked like it's going to go, there's been brick wall sellers, like whether
remember, these can be disappointing as well. Like Google moved 2%.
Yeah.
You know, like Apple, I think Apple will move, and I actually want to get longer Apple, but I think it is good to wait.
But it's like where?
Until the end of the day, until the end of the report. Yeah. Well, where I already bid. I have to check my account where I bid Apple, but
I feel like
I do have a bid at Google 180. I don't think that gets filled, but
the only bad part about bull markets, there's not much bad about a bull market, is that your stink bids just don't get filled.
Oh yeah.
Every time you try to get in, you just don't. You just can't. You can't do that. Sometimes you just got to pull the trigger. Like I find I'm more apt to just buy in the middle of the day and the stuff that I missed. So like MP was the best example of that. Like remember, it was so silly because I could have pulled out my phone and bought MP at like 3 o'clock live on the show, but I was like, oh, I'll just put a stink bid in. Mm-hmm. And instead of buying it,
to be a little extra stinky though.
No, instead of buying it at like $30 or whatever it was, maybe $31, I literally bid that day like $28.42 or $28.69. I don't remember which one, but trust me, it was one of those two. And then the next day, there was just no chance to get it. 2 minutes till the imbalances come in.
Now it's a double, right? Now it's like $60.
Well, if I had known the DOD was going to come in with a deal.
Oh, you did it?
How much you want to bet? I should have asked Joe this. Yeah, you know what?
He's a betting man.
No, but I'm just saying, that day
cost me 2 beers.
I'm just very curious what the options activity looked like on MP the 2 or 3 days leading up to that DOD announcement. I promise you, there is no way they had news like that moved it and someone didn't scam it.
Right.
It's like when there's a big buyout deal. Like all the heavy bets that happened in Activision, when Activision was priced at such a low probability the deal was going to go through, and you had some whales buying it like it was a sure thing. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the deal ended up going through, which not many people believe would happen.
That was a Warren Buffett play.
Well, Warren Buffett tends to, I'm going to get out flat on.
Tends to know what he's doing sometimes.
Well, it's every now and then he seems to have a sixth sense.
Every now and then.
Like when the banks were going to get bailed out.
Oh, yeah. That's a story of him and BAC. He took some warrants, took everything, took BAC at $5, and the rest, as they say, some say, is history.
Good for him.
Oh, Bush is talking right now. I just see in the chat. 47 is talking. What's up, 47? Oh, 456 is talking. All right, so someone in the chat was like, what do I mean about, I don't know if you're talking about what I was talking about with Apple or not. First of all, these imbalances are coming out in 10 seconds. We'll do that just for you. No, I'm just looking at Apple right down here, and I think that they have a good chance to do something. And what that something is just make an announcement about AI and see how that is going to be into iOS. And then if they like it, we've seen the market really move off of that news, right? We saw Google go, or Apple go from like, broke through 200 right up to 209 or something that day, that there was in talk with either Anthropic, or I can't exactly remember if it was Perplexity or something, that they were either going to buy them or get a deal going with them. All right, so into the close here, it's very, very muted, unfortunately. NVIDIA just with a $700,000 bid, 700,000 share bid. Intel with a 1.8 million bid. We finally get a little bit of a bump up there. I said fade all the pops, and I said that earlier today. Well, there's one, there's one, there's one. Every single fade would have worked. You don't do it now with only 10 minutes left, but that was good. So we'll keep that in our mind for potentially Monday as we see what happens with Intel then. Day 2 play should be good on Intel, man. It was great on Google. It was great. I mean, Tesla and Google are 2 top stocks today. So, and those are both day 2 plays. We'll see if Intel can have one on Monday. Microsoft, whoops, downside play there again. But again, with their report coming, wow, Microsoft, like, remember I said like what the market looks like? Like, look at,
Microsoft is.
I mean, come on. Honestly, I love Microsoft. I'm in Microsoft. My father and I went back and forth. We talked about this, not this last weekend, I didn't see him, but the weekend before that, I was talking with him, and we were joking around about how Microsoft used to be $40, $50, and he and I used to go back and forth about what to do with the stock and blah, blah, blah. And now this stock just straight up, man, just boom, boom, boom. Huge move there for Microsoft. There it goes, at all-time highs, heading into earnings. These are those plays where, hey, you never want to sell all-time highs, as Neil had mentioned there before.
Well,
no, but I heard you mention it earlier.
Someone kept saying it to me.
Michael
Noss kept saying it to me because I do it off the time because I have like a rule, well, I have a self-imposed rule about stocks that get more than 5% of my personal holdings. Once it's up there, I'm like, well, I should probably trim. Well, that usually happens when it's at the high.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, we got a question earlier about what are you guys nervous about the market? And the thing is like whenever my new strategy now that I'm getting closer to retirement is to get into indexes. And it's just like, as we see profits, if you see something in Microsoft, see something, say something. Well, I'm saying something. You're at the all-time highs right now for Microsoft. It seems really frothy to me. I don't think there's anything wrong with trimming a little bit of this, even right now, or Monday, Tuesday, whatever, before earnings, just in case. I mean, if you still have a full position on, let's just say your position's $100 in value, put 20 bucks in your pocket, man. Take out 20%, something like that, like I said, and buy a popsicle or something and just enjoy it, because you never know where these stocks are going to go off of an earnings call. So that would be something there where be careful with it. If you have a lot of money invested in it, that might be a strategy if you're playing it for a swing trader, playing it into earnings. We used to have Danielle Shea on the show. She always talked about options leading up weeks into the earnings call. So it might be a little late right now to play options because of how much volatility, and
you're going to be paying up.
Yeah, you're going to be paying out the nose for that kind of a volatility. Because remember, the implied move on Tesla, we extended past that. I think that was about 9%. But Google and all that, some of these stocks, they're not necessarily moving super fast off of earnings. Sometimes it does take a day or two after that before you finally see some sort of a play.
I'd say like 8 out of 10 stocks, it seemed like this week, were underneath the expected move. At least.
Underneath, yeah, the expected move.
It was probably even higher than 80%, to be honest.
Well, actually, it's funny you just said 80% there. 80% of the S&P 500 that have reported so far beat.
Yeah.
So good job there if you are a believer in the market. All right, one last position to go here, man. We got out of the TQs. That was a good idea. Boom, to the downside right there. Before imbalances, right? Take the long right there. TQs again, good position. It's actually P&L number 2. It was Tesla. And imagine that this is P&L number 2 and we only took it at 11 or 12:30, 11:30 right there on that break. So pretty good trade there to end the day on TQs as it's falling back in. Google, nice little bump up. Let's take advantage of that and just get out right now. Offer 37s out there, 37, bang. We go diamond hands on Google today. We held that for a little bit. We now do get the bump up on that. And then Palantir, I mean, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Palantir. Thank you, Sticky Note and everything, and thank you to everybody on the chat as well. You guys have mentioned that you like that play there on Palantir. So I'm glad that had worked out for many of you. Again, just like that break early, and there it goes, man. I'm just glad that we put on a little bit more risk than usual on that trade. So really panned out for us. Palantir making it a good weekend, regardless of whether or not you're green or red. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend, that's for sure. But Palantir right now, might as well get out at 159. We're long at 156.
And for everyone out there, it's the end of the week. Sometimes you're thinking about swing trading at the end of the week. So why not have a look at Trade the Pool, everybody? Because, hey, they have a new program over at Trade the Pool, and it's a swing trading program where you can get up to $40,000 in buying power to trade real shares and not CFDs. You can hold positions overnight, over the weekend, enjoy limited risk, thanks to a one-time evaluation fee, no monthly payments, no hidden costs. Take Vicente J, for example. He made $2,300 as a swing trader, locking in profits.
Ooh, boom.
The top performer he had was NMAX. He was short from April 20th, 420, to May 30th and pulled in $6,777 in gains. Trade the Pool is giving swing traders the tools, the time, and the capital to thrive. Scan the QR code and enjoy 10% off. Shout out to Trade the Pool. Just at 355, there were no imbalances to revert. That said, Intel's actually grew. So I can't remember the last time an imbalance on Intel actually held without flipping, but you know, it's down a bajillion percent today, so a big buy imbalance, I guess, is somewhat logical in that profit takers could be just rolling into the auction. 3.4 million, that's Intel's done 223 million shares, everybody, so I wouldn't exactly be running the hills to expect this to continue to go that much further, but hey, you got a pretty decent bounce. 25 pennies here on Intel, so it's only down 8%. This will be under the uptick rule on Monday because it ticked 10% to the downside. They only had to make money to beat expectations. The expectation was 1 cent per share, and they lost 10 cents a share. That said, Lip Bhutan said some things that could make you believe there's going to be a turnaround, but if you like the foundry play, that's not going to make money for another couple of years. So, you know, this is one of those names where like you can just probably sit and wait in it, or you could just be in NVIDIA. I think there's going to be upside here. I just don't know when it's going to happen for Intel. But on Monday morning, when it's SSR and does a lot of volume, I'm usually looking for some kind of a long somewhere. We know that can happen. KK thinks it's going sub 20 bucks. 19's been a great place to buy this thing. So I guess we can all hope to pick it up at 19 if you want to make a trade. But right now it's got an imbalance. I'm suspecting that's going to pair off, everybody. It's already down to 3.1 million with only 2 minutes to go. Usually does, tons of volume. It's the reason they put these out here so that they can pair off. That's the reason this is published for sure. Looks like SMCI is still going 54.50.
34.50.
See, that's what I like.
54.50.
That's the best part.
34.50.
Well, I feel like we have all the same, we're around the same age, you have all the same jokes and references, so at least I'll be able to say that and know what you're going to say.
When Obi was uncertain of what team Michael Jordan had played on, then I stopped.
I still don't believe I don't know. I think some of that Obi's just playing around and trolling us. I know he trolls me with like, what's that again? I'm like, no, you know what this is, or you know that song, or you know that movie. There was something really obvious the other day.
No, man, I don't think he's trolling at all. I think he's a man of integrity. I think if he knew it, he would say it.
Maybe.
You know, and then he called the Buffalo Bills the Buffalo Bulls, which was really fun too. I mean, we just.
But that's why I thought he was trolling me. He did that.
Maybe it was that one then.
No, but it was fun. But SMCI, I think this breakout's real next week, so we'll try some more longs in this next. Like this could go. Once 55 is gone, SMCI, I don't understand. It's been so boring for so long. Like, last 3 days have been good, but where are the big up days? I feel like that could be coming in. 1 minute to go, everybody. So, Obi does love his sports, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I'm not sure what this means. Mark Zuckerberg posts on Threads, just shared internally that, I don't know, I can show it to you here, but I guess they've announced somebody's accepted the $5 trillion that he's offering. Zhao Shengji will be chief scientist of Meta Superintelligence Labs.
Okay.
So shared on Threads. Ooh, on Threads, trying to get Threads going. I see you. Right there, 4%
Anyone still use that?
rise. I don't think anybody uses Threads. I actually was talking with my daughter yesterday. We were just having fun with her about social media. Now, oh, we got the countdown. By the way, Fabian.
We still have time.
Yeah, wow, we have 20 seconds. No, I was wondering, I really love the fact that that countdown was automated. And now all of a sudden we've got to hit it again here.
What, at the close we have to hit it?
I mean, it's not up right now, right? So there it is, man. We've got to hit it to put it up. I don't know what's happened to that thing right now. Ramin, what happened to the countdown timer? Oh, she doesn't know either. Okay. With only 3, 2, is she using her head here? What's she doing? Oh, we have that thing underneath. 1, there it is.
So why do we even have the mallet then?
I forgot that there was, I was like, Ramin's saying there was no mallet. So I didn't know what we were.
So there basically is no function for the mallet. This entire time, we've had no reason to have a mallet.
Yeah, they have that. By the way, the story behind that cowbell is that is actually straight from Switzerland.
You gotta tell the whole story.
That cowbell is straight. Watch out, Neil. Boom. Straight from Switzerland. Did you see? This is actually pretty heavy.
First of all, that's not the light mallet that wouldn't have hurt if I got hit with it.
Why did we buy this? This thing will destroy something.
No, that's an actual mallet. The other one is like this little wood thing you could dick around with or joke around with all you want. I can say whatever.
Yeah, Richard, you meant. Yeah.
Wow,
this is quite the.
No, like that's no joke.
It's quite the like.
No, but the story.
Fabian.
No, but why do we even have that? That's an actual tool.
Supposed to be a prop to hit the hammer.
Yeah, but that would actually break that, dent it.
Randy drilled it to empty out the sand, and it turns out the sand isn't in there. And it just
I was wondering, I was like, why are there drill marks in that thing?
Yes, Randy.
Hopefully this is not the same kind of a prop like, this might not.
Randy was here.
What was his name there? The guy that shot some, I mean, she died. It's a
Oh,
bad
no,
thing there.
yeah.
The fake prop that was loaded.
Yeah.
Alex.
It was Alec Baldwin.
Oh. I was like, that prop reminds you of that. Like, I was going to hit Neil over the head with it. That would knock people out.
No, but you would expect. Here's the thing. The whole reason we have a mallet it's so it won't dent.
I know.
It.
I didn't even say. But
why we even have one that would dent the bell doesn't even make any sense.
We used to have a lady that worked here as sort of one of the assistants to the show, and she's from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And when she traveled back there, she had got us, because, the owner of all of this wanted to be pretty unique there. Not a normal bell, that won't do. We have to have a cowbell. So we got an official cowbell from the great country of Switzerland, and that's...
But you're missing my favorite part of the story. And that is the first bell that got bought.
I'm gonna get over there.
Was ordered off Amazon.
Oh yes, and
it was when you order something with a picture off Amazon. I don't know where it's around here somewhere. But I ordered it with a picture, and the bell was like this big. It was literally like a bell
That's why I thought it was like a lunch bell, just like one of those little things that you would attach to like a dog or something just for fun. It was like literally.
No, it's supposed to be here somewhere.
There you go. Waterfall Swiss side.
We wouldn't have thrown it.
Roadrunner knows what we're talking about. Yeah. No, it was not Miss V. She's Ukrainian.
No, it wasn't that.
But all right, I'm gonna go. All right, good day. Thanks for
great day there for sure.
I know you put in.
Oh no, we forgot to. No, we didn't have any brews today. We'll do it next week.
I thought we were going to wait for Joe.
Oh, we're going to wait for Joe to come back. That's right. So we'll get the brews next week for sure. Why do you have to hit the fail for everything? We're making sure everybody on the team. Obi will be back. Joe will be here. So that's when we're going to celebrate, and we'll have a little bit. We'll probably get some food. Maybe we'll get some the tacos we had last time. So I guess maybe we'll get some burgers, some brisket. Stop hitting the fail. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, you know what? How about this? Big shout out to everyone in our crew, everyone in our community, like we always do. Big shout out to Andre, to Ramin, to Sean, Brendan, to who else we got? Oh, we got to shout out Obi and Joe and Daru's not here, and of course Cherie. Fantastic job as always. Basically everybody. Fabian, who keeps hitting the fail in front of me. No, we love you, Fabian. Even though I'm just messing with you. But the pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button. He's actually, so that phrase, the pity the fool, that's his phrase. Like, you can get sued for saying it, apparently. I didn't even know. Like, I remember I saw him in an interview. Whatever. Like, I actually legitimately admire the guy. Like, most people, you wouldn't know this, but he's a very quality human being family man, godly man. Just not necessarily. If you watch the A-Team, you wouldn't suspect that B.A. Baracus is that kind of a person. But just see him in real life, and it's like, wow. Or see him in interviews, and he's just a very, very wholesome dude, which is really cool to see, given what you might expect. Really, listen to him as a public speaker too. Very positive, a good motivator, that kind of a thing. So he's really cool. Anyways, I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button. And I pity the fool that doesn't stick around to watch the market recap show brought to you by Beta Pro by Global X. And that market recap, hey man, it starts now-ish with Mr. Katina. Go get him.
Desk right now. Welcome to the Market Recap Show. This is your recap show brought to you by Global X and their Beta Pro. Go check them out, betapro.ca. Go figure that out. Yeah, that's that 3-time levered. Go over there, check it out to all of our Canadian traders and investors. Yeah, welcome to what was a pretty interesting week, that's for sure. We had some big earnings come through. We watched Netflix slide to the downside this week. We watched Google sort of absorb that $10 billion added CapEx number. So we want to say shout out to you, Google. Thank you for keeping the AI trade alive for now. Next week, we've got big earnings. We're going to go over those in just a couple minutes, see who's reporting what and where and when. Next week, we got Fed, we've got tariff deadline day, trade deadline day, tariff deadline day. They're all coming through next week. That was hilarious yesterday when Trump sort of toured around the Fed. We'll see what happens on Wednesday when Fed Day is upon us. And that should be a lot of fun. Make sure you do join us all next week because we're going to have a Dara back. We've got a full board ahead of us as well. Let's just quickly, I actually wanted to look at some of the earnings into next week before we go over what's been happening this week. Shout out to Earnings Hub right here. This may or may not be hard to see. I mean, I can't really zoom in too much. Maybe Fabian, I don't really care about this part. I can't get rid of all this. Look at this is what's been motoring. Like all these little AI symbols up there, that's all Gemini and stuff. So we'll talk about what that means for Google moving forward. But on Monday, we've got Domino's and Verizon to start the day off there. Probably Neil getting some pineapple pizza this weekend, so we'll see what happens with Domino's right there after the close. Another big report there from NXPI. Wait a minute, that's the 21st. This is not the week I'm looking for. I'm looking for this week. This is next week. We've already had Domino's, man. There it is right there. Waste Management next week. We've got Tilray after the close, so puff, puff, pass on that one. Nucor coming in on Monday as well after hours. The largest steel producer in the United States. That could be a very interesting name. Shout out to Canada and Celestica, the #1 tech name now in Canada, them and Shopify. And then on Monday is where we really get spicy, man. Thank you so much, Fabian. That is beautiful. We got SoFi, we've got PayPal, we've got Spotify. Those are bangers right now. You know what? We have something for this. It's called Stock Blitz. Let's go over some stocks right now. Procter & Gamble, good movement there. Boeing coming through. Wow. Lots of names on Tuesday morning. UPS, Merck, Royal Caribbean, JetBlue. Look at what we have for you next week. Shout out to Carrier. HVAC is in the building right there. Then we go into after the close, right? A lot of us have been worried about Visa. What do the stable coins mean for Visa? We all like this. Next week we'll be getting some Starbucks. We like some Starbucks. Mara, let's go find out what digital coins are popping off next week. Has Mara made a mistake? They had the offering. We'll figure out if they can spark more movement to the upside. Mara had a rough week. We've got EA Sports. Is it in the game? We'll find out next week right there. EA Sports, it's in the stock. So we'll figure that out. Teladoc, stock and Teladoc as we rip and rhyme right now. They come through as well. Cheesecake Factory. I don't think I've ever been to Cheesecake Factory, so shout out to everybody there. Ramin, don't look now. Guess what we have on Wednesday before the open? It's Wingstop, and she just guessed it right there. So we got Wingstop coming through. I promise you I will trade that for her on Tuesday. Hey, Wednesday, how does wings sound? Let's do wings on Wednesday. We'll get some of those, whatever. I mean, I like the mango habanero. Okay, pass, right? Fabian likes that. So we'll get Wingstop there. Kraft Heinz, GEC coming through as well. There's Vertiv. That should be a good one coming through. And then after the close, the big day that you want to be here is going to be Wednesday. I'll be doing the show Tuesday and Thursdays. Neil be here Wednesday. We've got Monster Days Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Pick a day. What day do you like better, Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday, we've got Microsoft, Meta, Robinhood. Oh boy. ARM, maybe we need Obi for this one. We've got ARM coming. We've got Carvana next week, Ford, eBay, so many into the close. But look at what Thursday's got in touch for us. We've got Amazon, Apple, and something called Coinbase. We've got MSTR. We've got Reddit. I think that's a pretty cool logo there for Reddit. Shout out to you. Roku, First Solar coming through. Riot, another blockchain name coming in there as well. Lumen's coming through, let alone what we have in the morning time. We'll see what MasterCard shift up a little bit here if we can. There it is. We've got, you can just leave it on here if you want, Fabian. We're done. MasterCard, race, Ferrari right there. We'll get that going. Russell, if you had a Lamborghini, which color would it be? Yellow. So there you go, man. Race and Ferrari, of course, not Lamborghini, coming through there. We have Roblox as well on Thursday before the open. It's going to be a great day. Nothing like joining us here at Trader TV Live, where we will review them all. All right. Hey, everybody. Tron Katina, this is your market recap show, again brought to you by Global X. We just did a little bit of a review of what's to come next week. Now let's talk about what we just went through this week. Here's our nice new layout. We just built this. We spent some time to building this. This is our new symbol list. We have all the sectors down here. Might be a little hard to see. I can't really change these fonts. Maybe we can make them bigger. We'll try to figure that out. But right now today, the materials sector was the highest, up 1.18%. I've got the trade rate on here. Anything starts popping. We've got Qs. We've got Tesla. But this is a Tesla daily chart over here. Yeah, don't worry about that, Fabian. I do appreciate all of that. We're not going to be going into too much detail. We do have right here the Tesla 3-minute chart. We can call up any sort of charting here on Tesla. What a good day it was today. We topped out at 323, a nice move higher there on day 2 of earnings. Tesla leads the way today, up an amazing $10 into that close. Nice move there for Tesla, closing in at around 316. Shout out to Steve Austin as we get that close right there. Tesla on the daily looking pretty healthy back in. The only thing I got to put up here is the percent change on the day, because Tesla right there up $10. Nice move there for them, up just over 3% there today for TSLA. We actually have it down here. And we can also call up any sort of a name we want up here as we continue to go. Remember, we do have the Benzinga Pro platform to get going today as well. Today, as SPY goes out at all-time highs. So a big congratulations. You'll see the daily chart up here as we continue to climb higher and higher. Where'd it go? On the SPY right there. Nice move up to 637, taking out brand new highs as we get 80% of the reported names so far in the S&P 500 have outpaced expectations. So 80% beating on the green side of things. Nice movement there for the SPY. The Nasdaq, I think I heard this say yesterday, S&P up more than the Nasdaq this week, so that's nice. Led by such names, again, Nasdaq, all tech names. We had Procter & Gamble, we had J&J with nice weeks as well. Some of the healthcare names got a little bit hit near the end of the day as Centene, CNC, came out with not great news and a not great report as you see them falling off there. Obviously, this is back in July. The last few days there on CNC, nice downside plays there as we continue to go lower on CNC. But today, bad report, fed up well at 8:30. We get the call, bounces right back up, is not able to take down $29. UNH, a completely other side of this whole thing. UNH down to 280. Again, yesterday gets that DOJ notice, or not DOJ, maybe it was DOJ, notice there that they're going to be looking into more of their operations. So UNH, downside play into that as well. SPY, good movement. We just talked about that. As far as the market overview goes, today we had Deckers Outdoor. Good name. Those Hoka running shoes, obviously doing well for them, as well as Uggs. Those were two of the brands that they cited for positive momentum upside on Deckers. You see Deckers today goes up 12%. Nice move there. And just looking at what they're up to, there's the move on the daily chart. So we do sort of scan about a little bit higher there as we can blow. Whoops, let me just blow this up. Whoops, we don't need to do that. We're not adding anything to this. You got to bear with us here as we get these charts going. I want to actually pop this out so we can detach this window and show you what this looks like on a daily chart. There it is right there. So Deckers, nice play upside again. And if we sort of coincide this with a play like Nike, Nike also holding out well above the 200 period moving average right there on our daily chart. Nike, $76 and change, trying to get through this $82 mark. We'll see if Nike can do that. Nice game by them on their last earnings report through $70. We'll see if we can fade back out. But again, I like Nike. I think there's a little bit more to go on that as we go. Let's reattach this back in. We are waiting. Again, we will have Steve Teilman coming through for us later on today. So this is the daily chart down here. I'm just sort of flirting around with various different aspects here to show you guys what's going on. Newmont Mining had a good day as well, as gold stock continues to make a new high right now. Newmont Mining 65 and change, coming out with a decent report, 6%, up 6% there on robust earnings, higher gold prices, and a $3 billion buyback sends Newmont higher and higher. We already talked about Centene, surprise loss, but they come out better than expected off of their earnings call. So boom, there it goes. Bad number, they like the call, nice upside move there. All right, Paramount gets that 8.4 deal stamped for approval, so we'll watch out for Paramount. Neil said PARAA was another symbol. Paramount Global, okay, so again, not much going on here as we'll watch out for that. The sad story of the day, womp womp, we'll hit a fail on this one as well. Maybe we'll talk to Steve, think what his opinion maybe is on Intel, but Intel, not a good one, man. If we sort of zoom this back in and check out what it looks like on the daily chart here for Intel, there's the gap down right there. It's kind of funny because Intel looked like it wanted to break out, and then of course today, down 9.3%. Revenue beat, yes, but adjusted loss. And again, if you're beating on revenue, but you're gonna lose on EPS, that's not great. Some extra expenses added in there as well for Intel. Layoffs, 15% cut in their workforce, and they also had some projected cancellations on some of their order flow, so that's not great there for Intel, trying to hold out for 20 bucks. Tomorrow's trade today, let's watch Intel on Monday, especially if we get down near that $20 mark. It was a great week for the Nasdaq. Let's see if we can hold some of those gains into all-time highs again. This is what the Qs look like. We can also look at SMH, I mean, led by, have we seen AMD lately? Have we seen NVIDIA lately? Broadcom? Many of these names are at all-time highs, including NVIDIA today, taking that out. Look at the SMH as opposed to what Intel's doing. So if we do get a pullback here, probably giving us another opportunity to buy Intel in and around $19. So we'll have to look to see if that can come out as well. Modest gains today in XLE and whatnot. I mean, these have been sort of choppy for a little bit here over the last little while. You know, really choppy near the bottoms as well. This is energy names. So XLE down here, $75. Not really too much movement today, kind of stuck in the middle there. USO, United States Oil as well. As we get clarification, again, like, I thought President Trump was coming in and getting this Ukraine-Russia thing sort of resolved. That doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon, so we'll have to wait for that. Yeah, within the next 24 hours or so, we'll get that solved, but not to pass. That's not a funny thing. I mean, there's lives being lost all over the place. We hope for that to get resolved. More important to oil is this move right here. That was that day when, or over the weekend there, where they bombed Iran, and then all of a sudden, President Trump came and said that, you know, we got to try to watch out, let oil prices come back in, and then try to support them a little bit. So we do get that bounce off right there at $73 on USO, roughly $64 on light sweet crude. So that's trying to hold the 200 period. I still like energy. Still think there's a lot of play in that, right? JP Morgan, relatively flat week for financials. We're already through earnings season for the big banks. So as we continue, I want to still thank all 3,000 of you for staying late with us here tonight. I know it's been a long week and we want to get out there to have some fun. But JP Morgan right now going out near $300. We are ready for Steve. We're going to bring him in just a couple seconds here. Just want to go over XLF. Look at XLF. I know, Steve. We talks about momentum plays. Look at how strong right now, Fabian. Let's just go over to the screen and then I'll bring him in. Look at XLF right now, breaking out, man. This is a huge breakout, I think, anyways. The banks aren't the sexiest as far as like, let's play for a 3% move, 10% move. They're just grinding, man. They're grinding higher. Look at the 50-period moving average. It's really been respected pretty much the last 3 or 4 months since May. Nice move higher there on the XLF. It's about that time. It's Trader Talk. Let's bring him in. Oh boy, here we go. It is Steve Teilman coming at us from Trade the Pool. Thank you so much for joining us one more time here today. How was your week?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great. It's been a fun one. A lot of good trading action. How about yours?
Pretty good, man. We just got back. We had a nice trip. We were in Boston for about a week there, traveling around. The family had some business to take care of. My daughter plays competitive hockey, and there was a tournament down there in Boston. We had a great time. Whale watching. Have you ever been whale watching?
I can't say I have. Is that watching trains?
Yeah, that would be, yeah, the Bitcoin whales. No, we actually went out into the...
whale.
Not Bitcoin whales or anything like that, but actual physical whales. Yeah, we went out there. It was a fun time there in Boston. It was fantastic. See you, Ramin. Fun times. Have you ever been actual whale watching?
I have been whale watching. Sorry, I misheard you there. Yeah, awesome time out on the water there.
Awesome time.
Sounds like a blast.
I love the water. I don't know about you, but I could spend all time. That's one of my retirement goals, is kind of to sit there, basically in a cottage on a lake, loving life as much as we can. But yeah, no, what an interesting week, because we had Google earnings, we had Tesla earnings. Any of those, you got to trade on any of those? Any ideas what we're looking forward on Tesla? Did you put anything on, anything going on Trade the Pool on those two names?
Yeah, so for Tesla, I did take a small long position going into it. That was on TSLL.
All right.
I took half of it off at 13. I got stopped out half at break even. Pretty boring trade, to be honest. And then Google, I'm still long, but we're just waiting. One of these days, it'll break 200.
Yeah, I think Google actually took a lot of people by surprise. I think, what's your reasoning for Google? I mean, for me, I talked about this before earnings, and its market multiple, the PE, is actually still underneath the S&P 500, right? The S&P 500 right now going out around 22 on a PE. Google's now off the earnings a little bit higher, but we're at about a 20 multiple for Google. So I feel like if you're thinking about buying the market, why not buy Google? I mean, there's a lot of tailwinds in that name. What's the story that you like the best with Google, thinking it's going to break 200?
Well, just in general, this trend of software over hardware, I think that Google is still a front runner in AI. They are my placeholder for the Mag 7 as a whole. I think they have a lot more upside than a lot of the other names. Maybe them and Amazon are my top two picks there. In general, I just think it's a great company with a lot of upside left from this point.
Yeah, I guess the demise of search well over-exaggerated, as they put up a better than expected number on that search. And it's kind of cool too, because I think a lot of people are still using Chrome, right? You just get that little search bar at the top, and then it gives you the Gemini answer with the links below it as well. So lots of opportunity to sort of get it both ways, whether or not you want to use the LLM for an answer or some of the links. So I'm with you on that. We really, really like Google. But that also helped NVIDIA break through all-time highs as well. So is there a play in the chip space? I keep saying, man, just play with the king. That would be NVIDIA. But AMD's had a nice run. Broadcom's breaking through the tops as well. What do you think about that overall sector? I know you're an ETF guy. You like SOXL, SMH. Give us some thoughts from your mind on the chip space and AI in general, maybe.
Absolutely. So the chip space is interesting right now. I think that the AI trade in general, we're starting to see the middle innings of the trade play out. So the shiny stuff like chips, maybe not so strong in this part of the sector rotation. Maybe we see more excitement in terms of infrastructure and supply chain for semiconductors. So I'm looking at Teradyne, TER. I think they're very interesting. Amcor. Those are both on my focus list. And then A-Lab is doing amazing things this week. So that's my basket.
Yeah, we saw A-Lab doing some things there. I like Marvell. I think there's good. We have NXPI coming, or they actually came last Monday as well. So some of the semis finally starting to come through as well. NXPI, a decent name. We got a question on our afternoon show about SoundHound. I think I had talked to you about this before, and here it is right here. Let me see if I can just blow this up a little bit here on the daily chart, SoundHound. You and I talked about Big Bear AI. We talked about SoundHound. We talked about C3 AI as well. I said I'd ask you again. I believe the viewers still here in the chat. I like SoundHound. It looked like it was trying to break through some of this 13 level. We're pulling back just a little bit, but to me, still pretty constructive, Steve, here, holding the 200 period, holding the 50 period moving average. And that's why I sort of want to talk to you about AI. You had some good picks for us. You just gave a couple more as well. We still like SoundHound, or is it maybe taking its time here and just figuring itself out? Maybe it needs a couple more days before we break through that 13 mark.
Yeah, I still like it. I think it's acting a little slower than intended.
Right.
I kind of picked it up. I picked it up as one of these squeeze plays, it was like a momentum trendy basket name. We got the initial move of like 10, 15%. I just booked a small runner. So for me, I'm just letting it do its thing. I think as long as it stays over, I'll zoom in here for you. This key daily trigger here that's tested twice and held on the way up. I think as long as it stays over about 1125 or so, we're good to go. I'm also keeping an eye on that 20-day moving average as well.
Yeah, I think that you and I are very, very similar to that. I love the 50-period moving average, the 200-period moving average, especially on a daily chart. All right, I'm going to give you obviously an opportunity. You mentioned, I just heard you sort of slip a name in there, and it's going to be a big name for next week. That was Amazon. I mean, next week we have reports from Alphabet, Apple, and Microsoft. Let's throw Amazon to the, not Alphabet, we're talking about not Alphabet, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. You know, out of all of those names there, is there a big cap? Let's get rid of Amazon, because I think a lot of people are picking Amazon. But if we could go Apple, Microsoft, and which one am I missing next week? Maybe it just is Amazon. But let's you know what? Let's just talk about Apple then. I saw Apple, and if you come over to the daily chart for me on Apple, we got that report when we were sub $200 that maybe there was some talk about Perplexity, Anthropic, all of this either tying up with, and it could be Gemini as well, but as we work on Siri, as we work on iOS, and we finally get that Apple Intelligence play, I don't know if it's going to come with their new phones. If we thought it was coming with 16 last year, doesn't look like they've done much as far as Apple Intelligence is concerned. Is there anything interesting about Apple that you're looking forward to with this report, or is that sort of just a wait and see? I always told people, you might as well wait for the report instead of digging in right now. If you missed the first 5%, fine, maybe you'll get the next 5. What do you think about Apple?
Yeah, I think it's at a really pivotal spot. It's not my favorite in the mega caps, just in terms of exposure to supply chains and its reliance on hardware and the consumer. So I think that we should just watch the technicals for this one. You know me, I'm not going to try to infer too much, in the first 5 minutes of the earnings report.
Right.
I'm more of a wait and see until after kind of guy. Right now, I just see us pinning at a key level into a key event. So that's my stance. No strong opinion.
Right. Okay. I think that's probably fair enough. I mean, for me, I was just looking at it and thinking, like, if you're trying to catch something that really hasn't gone yet, Apple still, to get back to its high of 260, that's a lot left in that name. We could get that rally. There's the high rate there, 260. So I feel like it's coiling up. Would be much better breaking through that 220 if we can get above that 200 period, because then we say giddy up and we get back up there to the upside. All right, man. We've talked about a few different names, but what about Intel? Intel, I feel like it can't get out of its own way. You want to... Hello? You want to talk about, you quickly want to talk about a chart? Come over here to the daily chart, Fabian. I mean, look at this. I'm no chartered market technician or anything like that, but that looks like a pretty good level there. So does this, and so does this. So anybody that's long down here, you stare $5 or $6 in the face, you don't get out. It comes back in, you're like, okay, maybe I'm gonna get longer again. Well, did I learn my lesson? Maybe not. Up to $27, falls right back in again. Oh, we get a new CEO, it bumps right back up to 26, but then he can't solve the problems, and that comes all the way back into $18 again. Well, guess what? That's a new low. Not only did we take out those lows, we made new ones, and then we climbed all the way back to $24 again, where there was an apparent wall there around $24, and then now they report, and then whoosh, right back down to the bottom. Steve, I am one of those guys that have been holding this stock, waiting for the ultimate breakout, only to get slapped around in this thing. I feel like my money is just dead money. If I was in Broadcom, AMD, any of those names that you gave, we'd be laughing right now, but instead, we're holding it with Intel. Tell me some good news about this. You think this stock goes any higher here? What are we doing with Intel?
You want me to give it to you straight, or you want me to tell you what you want to hear? I can do both.
Probably straight is probably fine.
So we call this a pain box. It's just chopping in this massive range. It's painful to be a long-term investor. Let me switch to the longer-term chart here. It's painful to be doing much of anything besides just swing trading from level to level. So I got to wait and see what happens. Right now, I would consider this a broken chart in the middle of a range, and it's not a name that I'm particularly interested in. So I got to pass on this one. I really hope the best for your shares, because I know a lot of people are stuck in this, and it's hard to watch up and down like this.
Thing is, Steve, if you pull up a monthly chart on that thing, you'll notice it's at the same levels that it was in 1985. So I mean, I don't even know what to do, man. Like, I feel like if let's just say like you just had a kid or something and you're like, I'm gonna buy shares in something, and you somehow are debating between like an NVIDIA or an Intel, you don't wanna call that up right now, that is for sure. Okay, before we go, what are you up to? Do you got a stream going on after this? Tell our fine viewers where they can find you.
Awesome. Yeah, I will be doing a webinar on Bollinger Bands, Keltner channels, and how to use them to find volatility squeezes and enter right before the big expansion move. So we'll be doing a webinar about 10 minutes after this, so about 15 minutes-ish, and that'll be on Trade the Pool's YouTube channel. Come on over and check me out.
Give us, why don't, I'm gonna put you on the spot. How about that? Why don't you give us a little bit of an example of something that you're going to be talking about? Because we had a great squeeze in Opendoor. We had LIDR making those moves as well. We had costs going. So for those that maybe can't join you or just want a little sneak peek, how can I find, I mean, Opendoor went crazy. We got a tweet, the same guy there, Eric Jackson, that called Carvana, also put out a nice base case there for Opendoor. But yeah, help us. What can we look at? You talked about Keltner channels. What can we look for here in your webinar, in your live stream? Give us a little taste on what you may be talking about.
Awesome, absolutely. I would love to. I'm just popping them on my chart right now.
The name I was looking for, I want to thank Roadrunner in our chat as well. The big mega cap name that hadn't reported next week, Meta. For some reason, I kept stumbling on Alphabet, but yeah, it was Meta. But anyways, okay, let's go. Give us a preview.
Absolutely. So this is a coin chart, and what we see is a couple sets of bands here. What matters is this lower band. This is our Bollinger Band, and then this dark gray band is our Keltner. So what we're basically doing is we're taking two indicators which measure volatility compression on different time frames. We are kind of using their relationship to each other to pinpoint a location on the chart right here where this light gray band goes inside the dark gray band, and that'll identify a window of really tight compression where you can catch these big explosive moves. So if anybody's been trading with me this year, you know that coin has been one of my biggest trades, going quite nicely. And yeah, this is the exact strategy I used. So I just want to share the wealth there.
Perfect. And that's what we're all about. I know your community is the same as ours, man. Trying to get as much information into the hands of many that we can do it. So we want to give you a big shout out again. Steve Tileman coming through, an analyst over there at Trade the Pool. At Steve Tileman, I can see we've got that going now on X. The bumper is now corrected. I'm sure they can go find you over there. And I'm sure that's where you'll be posting also at Trade the Pool and over there on X, these links. So thank you so much. Again, promise me you'll join us next week.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, great. That's Steve. Thank you so much from Trade the Pool. Go find that guy. That's Trader Talk. Have a great weekend. I just stepped on a screw over here, Russell. Come on, man. What's going on over here? But yeah, shout out to everybody. It has been a great week. I'm glad to be back. It was fantastic. We had some great earnings calls. One of my biggest trades in a while was today with Palantir. Let's see if we can get some more love into that. Fabian, any plans this weekend? Dentist. Sounds like fun. That's great. What? You're getting braces. Okay. All right, well, hopefully that's pretty painful for the first couple days as they get all tightened up and everything. Like, are you taking time off or? Okay. So yeah, hopefully people are having more fun than Fabian this weekend. We've already talked about it. We're having a big family night. We're going to watch Happy Gilmore 2. So let me know if anybody's watched that in the chat. I was actually watching the original Happy Gilmore. That was 30 years ago. It's unbelievable how young Adam Sandler is in that. So that should be a lot of fun. No matter what you're doing this weekend, I want to thank everybody for joining. Hey, I still got to get to that computer. 1 second, Russ, and I'm going to come over there and shut everything down. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. It's Trader TV, Sean. Trader TV and Daryl will be back with us. Thank you to everybody. Joe, I hope you're having a great weekend as well. Sharif, Ramin, Fabian, Brendo, all of us, Neil, everybody involved with Trader TV Live, thank you so much. We're back on Monday. I got to get out of here. Ciao, I'm coming home, my wife. You found the best trading show on the planet. So what are you going to do now? Simple. Hit the like, subscribe, and share it. It's Trader TV Live. We're here, baby.